Hello, everybody. My
What?
name's Falshane, and
Oh.
I know it might be a little late, but I just wanted to welcome you all to a little Christmas present.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, from me
Oh.
to all of you.
Oh,
Now,
tell us about it.
let's just go ahead and do what most people do whenever they get a Christmas present, and just rip that on open, shall we?
Ooh.
Is anyone opposed to that?
No.
Yeah, I
Rip!
Oh,
Rip! Yeah,
before we,
shred that thing
I'm
up.
opposed.
Do that,
Yeah.
let's, who do we have here
Burn it.
today?
Mm.
You have me. Hi, I'm Reichan.
Oh, hello, Ryu. Welcome. Hello.
Oh, you have me. I'm Hannah.
Who are you?
I'm Hannah.
I'm Jay.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
I'm
good,
also
you're
one.
back.
Yeah.
Yes, no, sorry. Discord likes to freeze lately. I just need to reboot it. And if I ever go away, I'll be back soon. So
Good
not-
stalling there, though. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yay!
Well,
So that makes 4 of us plus Falshane.
yeah.
Mm.
So thank you all. I just wanted to thank you all for coming in for Christmas here with me today. And now we're going to go ahead and unwrap our gift here. I know that we've all been really good and kind this year. And there's a brand new video game that came out that I heard of. And I've been looking to get my hands on it for all the nice little boys
Is it
and girls.
badass Deathlock?
No, it's not an infinite
Oh.
deathlock at all. I'm a little quiet compared to everybody else, so let me just stop talking in my soft voice and put on my.
Oh no! No!
This is
No!
talk
No!
like
no.
a human being for a second. Yeah.
All right,
Oh
so
no!
let's-
No! No!
Let's go
no.
ahead and unwrap this present and see what we got here. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh what?
You can
What?
nudge it. if you-
Oh!
Oh.
What is this?
Why?
Oh!
Polygon!
It looks
Oh.
like Santa Claus has gotten us a brand new copy of Pokemon Unsealed Edition.
Is that the Saints Row texture?
Not intentionally. If it is, then cool. Anyway,
Oh man, Game Boy Advance. We're gonna be.
Hang on, I gotta count the sides on this thing. 1, 2, 3. Is that a 20-sided die?
that's a
Oh.
20-sided shape, which is an isodecahedron, I believe.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
So it's not a Porygon egg.
No, it's not.
Mm. What?
Anyway, we're gonna cut the shit with the Pokemon or with the Christmas music. Let me go ahead and stop that. Anyway, hello everybody. Thank you all for stopping in today. We are actually going to do something a little different. It's called a Pokemon Unsealed Edition. It's going to be a Dungeons and Dragons-esque thing in the same vein as Ryu's, the scattered businessman.
You're
or whatever
in it.
The hell it's
You're
called.
in it. You're in the show. It's 1 year old today. Happy
yeah,
birthday,
actually,
Scattered
Happy
Hero.
birthday, Scattered
Happy
Hero.
birthday to
Happy
Scattered
birthday.
Hero. Happy
To
birthday
all of Zelda.
to Vayu,
all of it.
who's the most important character in Scattered Hero.
Hey!
And you can learn all about Vayu and his funny friends on www.zeldadnd.com.
Anyway, so what's actually going to happen is we're going to go ahead, we're going to take this cartridge, we're going to go ahead and shove it into our Game Boy Advance that we have here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, let's just go ahead and turn that on. Click. And hopefully this won't be too much worse.
Did you blow on it?
I did
Yeah.
blow on it.
Good.
This is getting complicated.
Some earthbound ass music.
So, once you get past the, the logos for all the companies that made the game, the people you don't really care about, when you would normally expect to see the Pokemon logo shoot into screen with the title card and everything looking all happy and bright, what you actually see are 4 bright lights shining out of 4 peaks on a distant map that you've never seen before. As the lights shoot up into the sky, you see one large black bubble at the center of the map. The bubble continues to expand larger and larger until it encompasses the entire map. Once that happens, it shatters like an orb of glass, leaving behind black detritus scattering across what looks like a complex arrangement of geographical features. in the water, in a series of water. After that occurs, the screen slowly fades to black.
And the music cuts off.
Oh my god.
It faded for brown for me. Is that a problem?
Huh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Professor Zelkova, but most people just call me the Pokemon Professor. We live in a world inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. While some people keep Pokemon as pets, others raise them to do battle and actually take part in a complex series of events and training regimens we call the Cetro Pokemon League. Well, you may have heard of other Pokemon leagues, but ours are a little different. Well, maybe instead of telling you, I should show you. At this time, a stately gentleman, you'd say probably in his mid-40s, salt and pepper hair and a clean cut against his smiling visage, wearing a lab coat and underneath a bright purple shirt and black slacks. He's carrying a stack of file folders in one arm, and in his other hand, he's actually very carefully balancing 4 Pokeballs. He throws them up into the air, and as they burst open, 4 Rabombi float around him, each one carrying something in their little buggy hands. He smiles and nods to them, and as they look at each other, they scatter away, disappearing before him. With a smile, looking up into the sky, he nods, and then looks back at the camera. Well, it won't be too long before you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But for now, let's move on to the next bit in our story, shall we? So, who wants to go first?
I do.
Oh my god. Okay, good.
Ark wants to go first. Excellent.
I do.
So, why don't you tell us what your character's name is and what they would normally be doing on their, like, average, say, like, morning, maybe around, like, 9 a.m. after just waking up or something like that?
Okay. Well, my character's, should I do this, like, in character, or
Yeah,
what do you
go
think?
ahead.
Okay. Alright, well, my name's Seth Gravely. Seth Gravely, that is. I grew up in the town of Anther, and I don't know a lot of people. I grew up in a haunted house. It's pretty cool. I made a lot of friends like that, but none of them really humans. So right about at this point of the day, I would usually be getting something from the kitchen, just to start my day off. But actually today, I got pushed out of the house, and they told me that I should go try some new things.
Oh.
So I'm off to see what's going on at the professor's laboratory today.
Okay. Well, how convenient, because just as you are about to step out of your house, a Rabombi comes from the distance, flying slowly, fluttering towards you. As soon as it sees you step out of your house, it sort of, pun unintentional, beelines directly at you. It stops maybe about a foot or so away from you, hovering in small figure-8 patterns, before it drops a letter which wafts slowly to your feet. Now, we're going to have to apologize in advance because I wasn't sure who was going to be reading this portion, so I just picked out one. But this is the letter that drops in front of you. Now, if you want to read it out loud for the crew, just change the dear part.
Okay. Dear... Oh, what was that? Oh, that's Seth Gravely. That's my name. That's great. Seth Gravely. Dear Seth Gravely. My name is Dr. Henry Zelkova, but most people refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. You're receiving this letter in response to your application for consideration as a member of this year's upcoming Pokemon League Challenge. It is my great pleasure to inform you that, amongst the countless requests that our team has received, you have been selected and approved for licensure within the Cetro region. As you are likely aware, unlike the League Challenges in other regions, the Cetro Pokemon League Challenge, CPLC is for short, is not a solitary adventure. While nothing prohibits trainers from traveling as a group while attempting to accomplish their goals the world over, most sanctioned Pokemon battles are intended to test an individual skill. While the CPLC was founded, however, Our desire was to create a system that exemplified the motto of our beloved land, Pokemon victory through unity. This provided the impetus to create a system which utilizes the following rules. The Citro Region Pokemon League must be challenged as a team of 4. Each member must participate equally to achieve victory. Once registered, a team cannot be changed. If one member of the team forfeits, the challenge is considered a failure for all. Anyone found to be violating these rules may have their license revoked. Please take the time to memorize the rules above, as they will become integral to achieving your ultimate goal of defeating the most distinguished trainers across Cetro. While these requirements are enforced for sanctioned league matches only, you are encouraged to work with your teammates to accomplish the multitude of other challenges you are sure to encounter. It is only through learning and growing as a group that you may one day stand together as champions. On the topic of your teammates, as is tradition, you will meet them for the first time upon your arrival at my laboratory in Anthertown. Afterward, you will be allowed to select your partner Pokemon. While I know that they are just as excited to meet you as you are to meet them, I will leave which Pokemon you will be meeting as a surprise for the time being. There will be a light brunch before you depart, so please remember to bring your appetite along with your thirst for adventure. Oh, good thing I didn't get that cereal. Nice. Dodge a bullet there. In closing, I would like to once more congratulate you on being selected for this prestigious opportunity. I do, however, have a final request of you and your future partners before we meet face to face. As the chief executive of the CPLC, I look forward to your flourishing as a trainer, but as a Pokemon historian, I hope that you'll come to love Cetro for the many wonders it holds secret for those daring enough to uncover them. Signed, Dr. Henry Zoro Zelkova, Department of Research, Section of Pokemon History, Anthertown in the Cetro region.
So, as you finish reading the letter, the Ribombee smiles at you and slowly wafts around to the side of your shoulder and just kind of plops down on your shoulder and, like, snuggles up against your head and then makes a pointed, like, hand motion towards the direction of the laboratory as if ushering you to go and meet with the professor before it's too late.
Okay. In that case, Seth would nod to his new friend who he loves, and then he'd look back at the house and wave at all the windows where there's a bunch of spooky shapes that are kind of waving back at him. And then he heads off. He's heading on in that direction.
Oh my god.
All right, and so that's the intro of Ark's character. Who wants to go next?
I do.
Hannah does, okay. So, Hannah, again, what would you be doing at around the, 9 a.m. morning-ish time?
Do it in character.
Well, my name is Rowan Moore. I'm about 25. Right now, I'm just hanging out in my apartment. I just woke up, 2 seconds ago, so kind of tired still. And I just shrug on my jacket. Everything in my apartment just is a little dingy, a little shitty, but I love it that way. Except for I lift open my window and there's a very lovingly taken care of box of flowers that are my prized possessions.
Oh.
I love my very dear friend gave to me, and I care for them every fucking day. And I will not let these flowers die. They're important to me. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just watering my flowers.
All right. Out. And as you're watering your flowers, you would notice that in the distance, a few bug Pokemon seem to be fluttering around. Maybe some species you might not have seen before. You're not exactly sure. You're not too big on bug Pokemon, but one that you do notice is a Ribombee, because unlike the others, which kind of hesitantly move towards the flowers, but when they see you there, they back up and kind of scatter off, the Ribombee decides that it's just going to fly right up into your little window box and kind of just sit on the edge of it, and it tilts its head back so that it's leaning all the way back, so its head is upside down looking backwards at you. Not in a spooky or scary way, just in a it's leaning back enough so that it's looking backwards and up at you. And
Oh.
in its mouth
What's up, little
is
dude?
a little letter.
Oh shit. Okay, thanks, big guy. And
So, you
I
gonna
take the
it?
letter.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like I feel a little bad. Like maybe it's for somebody else.
No,
but
no, it's
I take
like
it anyway.
dedefinitely giving it to you.
Oh shit. Okay. Fuck
So,
yeah.
So what's this letter say? You're gonna have to read that one.
Yeah,
out.
you're gonna have to,
yeah.
hold on. Let's get all the way
Scroll back up.
Yeah, we have to scroll
Dear
through the text.
Rowan
No.
Moore.
No, as you can imagine, the letter says the exact same thing, only with your name on it instead. So, blah, 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 you've been selected to be a part of the Pokemon League. You have to be part of a team of 4. Come down to the lab in Anthertown and, sign Dr. Zelkova.
Alright. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I want to do this. That sounds like fun.
So the
Good
Rabambi,
dedication.
given that you're in an apartment and probably, I'm assuming, not on the first floor,
Absolutely not.
hops up onto the flower box and turns around, facing you directly now, and kind of just walks into the window, and then flies up onto your shoulder, and then, like, kind of side-eyes you, like, hey, come on, we're gonna be late. Only it's more like, Rabambi, Rabambi.
I take my sweet fucking time. I grab an energy drink out of the fridge. I make sure that the flowers are watered. I grab, some shit, put it in my pockets.
To be fair, the professor did not give her a lot of prep time.
I got keys. I got my headphones. Do I need anything else?
The letter doesn't necessarily say that you need anything else aside from your appetite.
All right. Well, I'm fucking hungry, so let's go.
All right, great. So as you head out the door with the Rabambi riding on your shoulder, it once again fades to, I guess, brown and or black, depending on how your eyes are working. And then who wants to go
Black.
next? Okay, black.
I'll go next.
All right, Ryu. So once again, set the scene for us. 9 a.m., you're doing your typical thing.
Yeah. My name's Carrie, and I'm a dragon tamer. And I'm gonna be the great dragon tamer.
Oh.
So sorry.
Spoil sport.
I think you handed me the wrong script. Hang on. Oh. I'm Lily, and I'm an aroma girl. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Slateport City, selling flowers in my mom's flower shop. Needless to say, I'm an expert of all 5 primary scents. Sweet, bitter, spicy, stink, and stank. Most days I get up early to tend my garden, make sure that all the smells are cultivated as intended, but today's a sort of wistful day. I've instead spent the last 8 hours wrapped up in a light blanket, sipping a particularly aromatic Starbucks coffee and contemplated reading a book that I know that I'm never actually going to start.
Aw. So as you're sitting there contemplating over your Starbucks coffee, that tickled me. You would see, somewhat confusedly, as if it were maybe lost, a strange fairy-ish, maybe bug-type Pokemon flying around, flying up to windows in neighbor houses, looking in, peeking around, bumping its head against the window, then shaking its head and backing up a bit, then flying over to the next house. And as it continues moving house by house...
I shut my window.
Don't need any of that.
Adventure, no thank you, Cliff. So, as it approaches your house and it sees that the windows are shut, it says, it kind of like looks confused, flies around, looks at the house number, looks at the letter, looks at the house number, looks like it's counting on its non-existent fingers, and then it starts like thumping its body up against your window.
Turn up my music.
Louder.
And giving in, I decide to open that window.
It comes crashing in through the window, not expecting it to open, smacking into your body and tumbling over you. And as it manages to pull itself back up and gain its wings once more, it looks around, having appeared to have lost something on its person, and panicking for a minute, it buzzes around the room until it manages to find underneath of you the letter. So, zipping under you and back up quickly, it snatches the letter and kind of huffily pushes it into your face.
Dear Lilith Smelzer, your rent's now 4 months overdue. And wrong one. Hang on. Dear Lilith Smelzer, my name is Dr. Henry Zelkova, but most people refer to me as the Pokemon Professor.
And
You are receiving this letter in response to your application for consideration of a member of this year's upcoming Pokemon League Challenge. It's my great pleasure to inform you that amongst the grand... Go on.
the Rabombi puts its hand on its face and it kind of just rolls its eyes. Not the DM, the Rabombi. And as you finish reading the letter, the Rabombi, seeing that the window is still open, approaches it, but then stops, puts its hands out to feel to make sure nothing's there, and then flies out the window, turning around to look at you, waiting to see if you're going to follow it, through the window or otherwise.
Yeah. Lily climbs through the window.
All right, and as you climb through the window, the Rabombi, unaffected by this at all, just starts to fly forward. It flies forward a few inches, turns around, makes sure that you're coming. If you're not moving fast enough, it flies over and kind of grabs onto your the shoulder of your shirt and tugs on it to get you moving forward.
Yeah, listen, Lily's in no hurry here. Stops and smells the flowers a few times on the road.
Well, if you do that, the Rabombi will also stop and join you. But then, as if remembering that it's busy, it it has no time for this, and then tries to continue ushering both of you onward. And then, as they slower than the Rabombi would prefer, make their way down the road towards the labs in Anthertown, it also fades to brown. And who would like to go next? Who wants to go next?
I guess that would be me.
Is that gonna be you, Jay?
That would be me.
Okay, be Jay.
I don't know if it's about.
I mean, I'll go again if you want.
No. God damn it! No, you already almost took his once already.
Dear Rowan Moore.
God damn it! All right, so again, Jay, give us what your character would be doing at around 9 a.m. on a normal day.
Oh god. Okay, so he would be out in the backyard splitting wood. So, just imagine the thwack and the crack of an axe. Splitting over there. He lives in a cabin up on a hill. It's awesome. Boss Rush should introduce him, even though Ryu already did. It's fine, though.
Well, no, go ahead. What's his name?
All right, fine. My name is Kyrian Fafner, and I am a dragon tamer from the prestigious Blackthorn City. Oh, it's so good. I don't exactly have a dragon yet, but I'm working on it. Mostly out on my own and trying to learn the ways of becoming worthy of taming a dragon, so I'm kind of roughing it at the moment.
Are you a dragon tamer by pedigree? Then?
Were you
Are you
raised...
just calling yourself that, even though you're
No,
not?
it's predetermined. Eventually, I will be able to take the test of the town to prove that I'm a dragon master. Though I do kind of have to have one of those, but I'm working on that. I'm working on it. It's gonna go real good.
Great.
All right. Well, as you
Crack.
are off in the hills, splitting wood.
Yeah.
As you bring your axe down and split one of the logs in half, when you would normally hear the sound of the two halves of the log flying off and thunking against the ground, you wait. I'm assuming with your hand carefully pressed up against your ear to get this sweet sound of that ka-thunk that you create,
come on.
Kathunk is not hurt. Strangely, as you turn to look around, you would find that there's a strange Pokemon just kind of moving its two hands around. It's this weird yellowish, like maybe bug or fairy Pokemon with some sort of weird scarf on, and it looks like it might be juggling the split pieces of wood in the air.
Oh.
And once it notices that it's been noticed, it just looks at you, gives what would probably be a coy smile, and just tosses the two halves of logs over its shoulder. And then, flying up to you, it looks down at the axe, looks up at you, just looks back down at the axe again, and then lifts the letter up and kind of offers it to you.
Oh, thank you. Let's go ahead and take that. She learned how to read. Faster, anyway. Oh, yes! Okay, I have all my stuff. I am all my stuff. Oh, okay. You ready to go?
The Rabambi is just like, yeah, it's ready to go. So,
all right, yeah, let's do it.
So, flying underneath of your cape and, like, cloaking itself back there, it pops its head out up underneath of it and, like, points one of its arms out, ushering you forward.
Oh. And away we go.
Yeah,
yes, everyone who is badass cuts wood in a cape. It's been great.
So as you all usher off down towards this mysterious place known as Anther Town, whether or not you are originally from there, live there, or visiting there, no matter how far you've traveled, you eventually finally come to the city or town of Anther Town.
Oh.
Nestled in a small little wooded area, Anther Town really can't be considered much more than a humble little forest-side city. Its people are very simple. Its main export is humility, and they grow they grow tall, lavish pines and thick fields of flowers. Nobody here is very industrious. In fact, you don't think there's much of an industry here beyond maybe a small local shop or two. But no, like, M-Marts or Pokemon centers. Instead, the only thing that you would say stands out in the town is far in the distance, tucked away in the corner, almost hidden by an entire array of trees, is Anther Labs, the exact location that you are expected to go. So, we're gonna say that you guys, more or less, enter at around the top portion of town, and gonna say that maybe just past the central gates, just south of the thick patch of grass, is when you first encounter each other. But just before then, you would notice that the 4 Rabambi, one that each of you have with you, before you can see the other players, suddenly dash off, leaving you behind, as if they've noticed something. And as you see in your far, long-distant vision, maybe far on the horizon, just at the gates of town, you see the Rabambi all converge, almost as if your one were joined by the other 3 magically, and then they fly off through the gates of Anther Town, awaiting for you to follow. And then as the group slowly converges and makes their way to the gate, is when you would finally see each other, all 4 of you coming together simultaneously, entering this small wooded village, and it's probably pretty easy to presume that these are going to be your partners for your upcoming journey. And
Well, that was magical.
Was that in
Oh yeah,
character?
that's right. Well, that was magical.
Hey, are we living in the same town? Do we know each other already?
Yeah,
No.
I thought I was actually gonna ask which one of these is my house, and I'm like, oh no, apparently not.
Well, I mean, if you lived in Anther Town, I would assume that your house would have been this one in the top right corner.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, which one's my house?
Okay, your house is the one in the top left corner.
Wait, which is
Yeah.
my house? My apartment.
Well, I didn't put an apartment in here, but let's just assume that there's an apartment building just off camera.
Perfect.
Yeah, nice. It's
Jay,
on the
you
other
were in
side
the
of that
hills.
fence.
Yeah, I'm up with it. I'm up off the
Your house isn't here, you're in the hills.
I'm not originally from here. I just kind of rented the place. I was hoping to get into the challenge. I was kind of living up there for a while to prepare my body for travel.
Prepare
Well,
your
I
body
would.
for Pokemon battles.
Yes!
I guess Seth then he got a little turned around and he ended up towards that patch of grass towards the top.
Well, I didn't know where exactly you guys were going to want to start because some of you were like, oh, I do live in the main town. Oh, I don't live in the main town. So the point is that after all said and done, the four of you managed to meet like just in this central main portion area.
Great. Okay.
What's up, my dudes?
Seth is a little hesitant at first. He puts up a hand. He says, "Hello. Are you here for the league?"
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Okay. So I got a letter. This is what it says, and I show everybody my letter.
Uh-huh.
And then we read the letter for the 5th time.
Dear Rowan
Rowan
Moore.
My name is Dr. Henry Zelkova, but most people refer to me as
That's
the
not
Pokemon
what mine says!
Professor. You are receiving... That's so strange. Mine said, Dear Lily Smelser.
Is that weird? Is that your name?
That was jokes.
So,
That was jokes?
Oh, okay.
Seth raises up his letter. He's like, "Yeah, me too. Me too."
Well, I guess that means that maybe it's the four of us together? I don't know how these things work. If maybe there's a bunch of people.
Voice in my head said it was pretty apparent we were going to be the four partners together.
Whoa. But the voice in your head, you say?
No, I have that too. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay. See, I was also hearing some narration earlier, and I was wondering if it was just me. So I'm glad that it's not that.
Jay, does...
Who wants a hug?
Oh my god.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
Come here. No,
Jay?
Who
See, are
wants a
you
hug?
wearing...
Oh my god, no.
A little bit.
Are you wearing a cape?
Yes! It keeps me warm at night because I forgot to bring a blanket.
I'm sorry. You wear it all the time?
Seth
Uh,
walks.
Yes. It's
Seth walks up behind Carrie and he's like messing with the cape. He's like holding it up and like feeling the texture while he's talking. He's
the
very
finest
infatuated.
material.
Very infatuated with this cape all of a sudden.
Yeah. Do you want to
Rowan,
try it on?
Rowan sidles up to Lily and is like, hey, so what's your whole thing? What's your deal? Hi.
What's your whole thing?
What's your whole deal? Hi.
I saw you tending flowers the other day. I have a
Oh.
garden myself.
Oh, that's so great.
So, do you mind if I comment on the smell of the flowers that I was picking up? Because I think that maybe you're not using the right fertilizer.
Oh!
Is
Oh.
this velvet?
What's the right? Yes, please tell me. I love those flowers.
Yes,
I
it
want
is,
them to be
double
healthy.
Lily trades some garden secrets with Rowan.
Oh my god, Rowan can't even talk with how excited she is about this.
Seth has decided, just based on appearances, that Kyrian is very cool and that he really, really wants to be his friend. He's like, dude, are you a Pokemon trainer?
Kyrian is already Seth's friend.
Oh my god.
That's how this works.
Damn. Friend, like, literally just, hi, I just met you, but we're best friends now.
You look like you've seen a lot of adventures. Tell me all about them.
Well, yes, I have gone on walks in the woods.
I have walked.
I'm more preparing myself for adventure so that I can become a more robust dragon trainer with one of
With a cape.
those. But yes, but the cape is essential.
You're a dragon trainer? How many dragons do you have?
I have some plans in the none.
And almost as if almost as if the world has comedic timing that could only be created by the prescience of an actual living being, the 10 o'clock bell in Anthertown chimes. And
Did you just confirm that God exists?
And call yourself it?
The 10 o'clock bell chimes. Which is actually stationed above Anther Labs. So that almost just by the natural order of things draws your attention to Anther Labs all the way in the corner of town. And since you were told that brunch was going to be served, something inside of one of your minds, it doesn't really matter who,
It was mine.
okay,
It was
inside
mine.
of Rowan's mind tells her, oh, hey, we should probably get going or we're not going to get food.
Rowan hungry.
I can't believe it
This
took
is
an
me
hour
in
to get
character.
here.
Rowan hungry.
Well, and you guys were talking.
So does she start walking then?
I'm like waiting, making sure Lily's coming, and then I'm going.
Yeah, hang on. How far away is this breakfast?
I
Or
mean,
brunch.
Anthertown's a pretty small town, so it would probably be like a 15-minute walk.
Oh, yeah. So Lily's definitely catching the whiff of the brunch cooking up and is, floated off the ground like cartoon pie style.
You can really smell everything, can't you?
Yes.
I should have taken a shower before coming.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Oh, Kyrian. Yeah.
Seth is following off behind the group and just kind of looking around, like real excited, like.
Oh my god, Seth is so fucking cute. That's me out of character.
And as you're walking through the town, passing by some of the houses, the people are like poking their heads out the window and like watching. Some of the younger kids are walking out and like waving at you. You can see the occasional Pokemon run by from like field to tree. It almost seems like this is an event that the town is really proud of. But there's such a small and humble community that they don't really make a big deal out of it. But it's almost like seeing 4 new trainers gathering together that they know were personally selected by the Pokemon League of their region is just like a badge of honor that they know one day may come back to make their town proud. So as the 4 of you walk into the area just outside of Anther Labs, a small, squirrely guy in a lab coat seems to be being harassed by 4 Rabambi. He's a very, like, scrawny, skinny guy. He's got shaggy hair. I'm gonna say, like, light brown in color, just about down to his shoulders. And he's, like, looking around anxiously to the 4 Rabambi, like, hurriedly asking them questions. And the Rabambi are in various states, either ignoring him, buzzing around him. One of them just occasionally looks down at him and then turns its head away. The last one is just nibbling on the edges of his lab coat as he's panicking.
I feel like these guys were a lot better trained before they went back to him.
But you just see that as you're approaching. His back is towards you as you approach.
Huh. I don't know what I was expecting.
Seth is nervous and he hides behind the group.
Hello, sir!
Jesus Christ.
And as the booming voice of Kyrian cuts through the panic of this gentleman, he jumps and the Rabambi like scatter away from him. Like they just were like thrown out of his body. And papers go everywhere.
No!
And like shaking, he looks around as the papers start to rain down, and he tries snatching them frantically out of the air, scooping up the ones that are on the ground. And as he does, he's like, oh no, it's covered in dirt. Oh no, he's not gonna like this. No, he's not gonna like this. No, I'm never gonna get promoted now. And he like gathers them together, and as he finally manages to get all the papers back into a stack, he straightens himself up stiffly And you can tell that this guy is probably like 6 foot tall when he's actually standing straight up.
Oh!
What?
Turning
Seth thinks he's-
around slowly, almost lurch-like, is this very shaggy-haired gentleman with thick, we're talking like inch-thick, round glasses with dense black frames. He has a long, laggard face, and he's got these super dark bags under his glasses. And as he turns around, you can see what look like drenched coffee stains, or maybe they're mud from trying to pick up the paper, all over his lab coat. And he's so uptight that the lab coat is completely buttoned all the way up to the neck. And turning
All
to
right.
face the lot of you, he says, "Oh, I guess you're the people that are here for Dr. Zelkova."
Yeah, we got these letters. He waves it over everybody's shoulders.
And walking up to you, the gentleman slowly snatches one of the letters, I'm assuming from Seth, only with his pointer and thumb.
I'm giving this guy the stinkiest eye. Up, down, all over judgment.
Shane,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. What does he smell like?
He smells
Coffee.
like coffee and fear.
Lavender.
Okay, so I first of all, I've solved the mystery whether it was coffee or mud on his shirt.
Okay, so he seems to notice as he's looking over the letter. Are you... Sorry, Jay's moving shit on my screen.
Oh, that's me. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I self-control your computer. Oh, no.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just revoke that from you really quickly.
Sorry.
As you just
I was going to
ruined
reset it on my
everything.
screen.
It's okay. So, that could have been embarrassing. Anyway, as he looks over the paper, he seems to almost be able to tell that Lily is smelling him, even if it is from a distance. And he sharply turns his head and looks directly at her. And then he slowly turns back to look at the group, slowly crunches back over, his shoulders hunched, so that now he's only about 5 feet. He's so hunched over and sort of trembling. And looking back at the Rabambi, who at this point are kind of like leaning on the 4 windows at the lab, he says over his shoulder, "My name is Craig."
Yes.
Greg.
But I'm the assistant to Dr. Zelkova, and he's been expecting you. So if you will hurry along inside now, you would like to meet with you. And without saying anything else to you, he rushes into the door and slams it shut behind him.
I'm sorry about the paper. Oh.
Did he just mew at us?
That guy was fucking weird.
Well,
What did he smell like?
I'm sure he's got a lot on his mind. Let's just. He smelled like coffee and fear.
And fear. I laugh a little bit too hard at that, and then I go into the lab.
Fear.
You're so funny. Okay.
And then Lily's just thinking in her head, "Man, I'm killing it."
Seth's following. It was pretty funny though.
So, as you guys make your way towards the door and you go inside, the Rabambi just watch from above, looking down at you, kind of laughing and giggling at the lot of you, and the scene transitions from outside of Anthertown to the inside of what looks like a very pristine and clean lab building. You've seen, almost like a research facility, a library. The walls are stacked with shelves lined with books. There are rows and rows of desks covered with paperwork. There are probably, I'm going to say, 7 or 8 other individuals moving from desk to desk, looking over the work, commenting to each other about certain things, pointing at like numbers and figures. There are various portraits of Pokemon on the walls. Some even look like they might be timelines, and maybe some of them have to do with how Pokemon have changed over time. And all of the people here, I'm going to say about between the ages of late 20s, early 30s, all genders, all skin tones, everything. It's a whole hodgepodge of people. There's no commonality really between them, aside from the fact that they're human. And when the one thing that really stands out is that there's a trail of paperwork that cuts through all of it, all the way to one desk, where you see sitting completely by himself, hunched over the desk, scribbling away at a rate that you swear would set the paper on fire, is Craig.
Yeah, that guy's weird.
Yeah, just like that. Just like that.
Is he even writing?
He is right. Well, or he's very frustrated. Okay.
So what is the changes over time called, since they already have something they call evolution? More like subtle feature differences in individual species of Pokemon. Not
Alolan
like...
forms.
What?
Like Alolan forms.
Kind of. Kind of like, imagine a Pikachu, only instead of there being like, Pikachu to Raichu, there's like a much larger, much more feral-looking version of Pikachu. Okay, yes, by the basic scientific evolutionary term of evolution, yes, evolution.
It's evolution.
But
Can
it's
we
just
can
not-
we have a word to call it so that we don't have to refer to it as a process of gradual change?
no.
Okay.
Okay.
Metamorphosis?
Sure, whatever you want to call it.
Yay!
Anyway, it was just
Z
supposed...
transforming. I don't fucking know.
It was just supposed to be a minor feature of the background. It's not really important to the story at large.
Got it.
Anyway, so that's what you see before you. You're in the central research facility room. There are people here sitting around, writing, discussing topics of various things regarding Pokemon forms, shapes, sizes, colors, breeds. Just, you know that Craig is off in a corner somewhere by himself. He doesn't seem to be very good at socializing. Everybody else...
Nobody likes Craig.
No, that's okay. Craig doesn't like anybody else. But everybody else in the lab seems to be getting along fairly well, discussing their notes and research information. But you don't see anybody that stands out as potentially Professor Zelkova, or sorry, Dr. Zelkova.
Knock knock, and I like bang on a file cabinet or whatever. Trying to get somebody.
I just knock on the file cabinet that's next to me.
Yeah. Hello. Knock knock. Sup.
So one of the tables that's nearby kind of perks up. The three people sitting there kind of just lift their heads and look over at you. They seem to whisper amongst themselves for a few seconds, and then one of the female associates stands up, and then nodding and waving to the other two, she walks up to you, and she's about, I'm going to say, like 36. She's got long blonde hair done up in a ponytail. Her lab coat is, kind of just draped over her shoulders, and underneath she's wearing a long black blouse, or long black dress. And she seems to be very comfortable for working in a lab area. Definitely much more comfortable than Craig. And she has a sort of a smile on her face as she approaches you. And she waves and says, "Oh, hi. Are you guys here for the Pokemon League? Is that you four?"
Hello, ma'am!
Not.
Yeah, I think that's us.
And also standing up sort of straight and in response to Kirian's voice. And you might start to wonder now if this is not just a natural reaction to Kirian and not just Craig being weird. The woman looks at you and she's like, "Oh, good. Well, Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Rose, and I'll be showing you to Dr. Zelkova's office. He's usually very busy, but I know that he's expecting you. So why don't you follow me over there? His room is just at the far back here, so just follow me. I'm very busy myself, so please do keep up. And she sort of, with a hurried pace, just kind of turns on her heels and starts, like, scampering off to the back of the office.
Oh, okay. Considering that everybody in the fucking town was waving to us on the way here, these people sure don't have a lot of time for us.
Well, everybody in the labs is very busy.
Yeah.
So okay. You gonna follow her?
Yeah, definitely.
Hop to it.
At some point during this journey, Seth is pretty taken with the posters around the laboratory, and he sees one that's advertising the Pokemon League. Mm-hmm. It's got like a trainer on it who's clearly like very competent, and there's like a lot of he looks very cool, and like he's like, that's gonna be me. Yeah, I'm gonna be so cool. He's keeping up pace, but he's very taken with everything going on.
Lily's also looking at a poster at the wall. It's a small like map of Anthem, and she's just really distracted by a visual glitch that seems to be a tree underneath another tree next to Seth's house. She can't take her eyes off of it.
Oh no, that's a bush. It's a bush that grew around the tree.
It's underneath the shadow of the tree.
No, that's not how light works.
Oh, I see.
I do see that.
Lily's pretty sure looking at the poster that it's a visual glitch, but
is Lily done being a smart mouth, or are we gonna
Never, but you can move on.
Okay. So as you begin approaching the door at the back, Rose just kind of politely smiles and nods, and
oh, hang on, I found another one. There's two trees over here that are intersecting.
Oh my fuck, look at that.
Did you make this map?
I did make the map hurriedly because the map program I was using was not as good as I thought it was. So there were some visual issues. Thank you for pointing them out, Ryu.
Anytime.
Anyway, thanks for ruining it for the chat, too.
I
Anyway,
can't wait to find and point out every other visual glitch that happens.
Great, now I'm just gonna fucking obsess over every other map that I make in the future.
Hooray!
It's okay. So, as you move to the back room, Rose bows and politely smiles to a lot of you and waves, and she just says, "Goodbye, good luck, I hope you guys have fun, I just say goodbye," and she rushes back to her desk. And,
man, what the hell?
Well, she was better than Craig.
Who actually, as you're approaching the door, his desk is right next to that door.
Oh, then I do not say that out loud.
Well, even if you don't, he's hurriedly scribbling about, and as he sees your guys' shadows approaching the door, he slowly creaks his neck up and looks at you and just watches very strainedly through his glasses. If you
oh my god, I do not like Craig.
If you could look hard enough to see through the inch-thick lens of glass that leads to his eyes, you would see the bloodshot cracks in the whites of his eyes as he's
Jesus
watching.
Christ, Craig. Get some sleep, Craig.
And so which one of you are you gonna knock? Are you gonna walk in? What's the you're at the door.
File cabinet it.
Yeah, knock knock.
All right. And as you knock, you would see the door slowly open up, and peeking his head out from the side, almost in like a friendly, neighborly way, you see Dr. Zelkova. As described before, I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but he gives you a nice smile, and he's like, everyone's here. Good. I was waiting for you guys. Please come in. He opens the door, and as he swings it open, he notices that Craig's staring, and he goes, sorry, have you had the pleasure of meeting Craig yet?
Yes, Craig.
Yes, Craig.
Again,
he
Craig.
is my star pupil. He's been working here with me for, I'm going to say like 3 or 4 years now, and his research is going great. It's done some of the most work in my labs, and I really can't thank him enough. And
They really seem like they're busy.
Sorry, what?
They really seem like they're busy today.
Yes, they are very busy. Everybody here is, well, you could say that the labs are probably the most important part of Anthertown. I don't like saying that myself because I think everybody here really deserves to be the most important part of Anthertown. But, I mean, Craig, he really works himself to the bone, maybe even more than he should, but he does supply me with a steady stream of coffee, and we all know how important that is, don't we, Craig? And almost as if, desperately, Craig just, like, nods and lifts up his mug and takes a big swig of it and gets back to writing.
I think I'm gonna
Craig
leave
seems
Craig alone.
under-socialized.
I'm gonna leave Craig alone unless he needs something.
And, anyways, Craig goes back to writing. Dr. Zelkova ushers you all into the room, and as you make your way in, he shuts the door behind him. And this room seems like it's a much more cozy or personal office-like setting. There's a desk pressed up against a wall. Above it is a shelf, which is stacked with a bunch of books that have various papers and bookmarks loosely hanging out of them. Sitting far in the corner is a sleeping Ivysaur, actually, just snoozing away.
Woo!
And
Oh yeah, she
there
would
are
love that, wouldn't she?
there are various other notes and papers on the table, on the desk. There's a couch which looks like it's been comfortably sat in and worn in over several years, made of a black leather with some faded spots. And in the back center of the room is a probably the most futuristic piece of technology in the entire room, and it's a large circular table-esque pillar which comes up to about, I'm gonna say, waist height. And then there's a glass dome over top of it. And as Dr. Zelkova ushers you in, he says, yes, thank you. I'm so glad that you guys made it. Was the trip okay? Please sit down. Help yourself. There's a coffee pot on my desk if you're thirsty. I'm not sure if you've had time to come over. We're also going to have brunch, so, if you're hungry, don't worry. We'll get to that in just a minute. Did you manage to find the labs okay? Was everything fine?
Yeah. Rowan, as soon as she hears the word brunch, is like, yeah, totally. Whatever you say, man. Brunch? Food.
Seth is curiously looking at the coffee pot and attempting to understand it. It will take him some time. It will take him some time.
Okay.
You never seen one of those before?
No, he's very sheltered. He's going to see a
The
lot
ghosts
of...
don't let you have coffee?
The ghosts are responsible for him being sheltered.
Lily has very comfortably decided to pour herself some coffee.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that's how it works.
Dr. Zelkova, can I call you Hank?
No, actually you can't. Henry's fine.
All right, Doctor. Yeah, I noticed there was some research going on downstairs. It seemed to be some gradual changes to individual Pokemons over time. Could you tell me more about that? That sounds very important to me right now.
And Dr. Zelkova sort of smiles and nods, and he says, yes, my research is very important to me, and I have actually volumes and volumes of books on it, and you're more than welcome to pick them up and read them at any time, but I'm sure that you're
That's
not
fun.
very interested in that. But to give you a general overview, you can know that our research here is about the history of the Cetra region. As you might know, there's a long-standing mythology about our region that said that Pokemon weren't native to the Centro region. In fact, the founding myth states that Pokemon were never intended to exist here at all, which is strange in everything that I've found, because we have information regarding Pokemon living in the Central region going back thousands and thousands of years. So, hogwash and fairy tales as far as I'm concerned, he says, taking the coffee pot from Lily and pouring himself a cup of coffee.
Lily has been drinking out of the carafe.
And taking a sip of the coffee. Sorry, go ahead.
Yay.
Lily also might be under socialized.
Seth also, once he's done with it, he accepts the pot and pours himself some, and he tries straight black coffee for the first time in his life.
Oh.
And he's like, that.
My friend here. Sorry, you may want some of this, and he gives you what looks like a very obvious tray with like sugar and cream on it.
Ooh, and he figures that out much quicker. That's a lot. That's easier for him.
Rowan takes another energy drink out of one of her pockets and opens it up.
All right. You know.
Lily gestures to pour some into her coffee cup.
Rowan absolutely does. Say when. Say when.
You're all gonna be okay.
Say when.
Right?
When?
Oh, okay. Jesus
Anyway,
Christ.
as I was saying, our research is mostly just about the history of species of Pokemon. As I'm sure you know, being interested in Pokemon for all of your many years, Pokemon undergo a process known as evolution. Now, the interesting thing about that is, even though they go through these understood stages of development, we have found that there are carbon-dated fossil studies that show that a Pikachu from about 5,000 years ago wasn't the same size or weight or even, like, general makeup as a Pikachu from 3,000 years ago. But it in no way matches the same coded structure as a Raichu from the same period. So what we do here is try to understand and resolve those changes and differences. But that's all highfalutin, boring study that I've spent the past 20 years of my life writing several books upon. But that's not why you're here.
Did you just give us an in-canon reason for Fat Pikachu?
Chonk!
Listen, Henry, put it in a podcast, all right?
Yes. Again. That is not why you're here. First and foremost, I want to congratulate all of you. Honestly, we must have gotten thousands of resumes, letters, requests, some just downright begging, and some threats, actually, funny that, asking to be in the Cetro Pokemon League. And after going through all of them, we found that you four made the best team, the best choice for the next year's attempt at the league. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so honored!
Why were we chosen?
You're the best.
At what?
Pokemon!
Did we take a test?
Yee.
Okay, so the story kind of assumes that you in some way know about the Pokemon League and wanted to be in it and thus applied. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I was a little taken aback when I was accosted by a bumblebee.
oh yes, the Rabombi. Sorry. Oh, right. Where are they? And leaning back, he does one of those like two fingers in his mouth whistles. And the windows open up, and the Rabombi, you guys can't see this specifically, but the Rabombi cut through the lab, disturbing and fluttering the papers around everybody's desk, and they bust in through the door, closing it behind them politely, all four of them simultaneously shutting it, and then information turning around and standing at attention. And he says, yes, the Rabombi have been very excited to meet you as well. They've done a good job. You can all return to your Pokeballs now for a nice long rest. And they all flutter back to 4 Pokeballs that are sort of haphazardly scattered around the room, and they boop their noses against the button of the Pokeball and get sucked back into it.
Oh
Bye.
my god, that was cute. Fuck.
Yes, the Rabombi were supposed to deliver your letters. I'm glad that you got them, and I'm glad that the trip was good for you. But again, this is all very, very, very much putting off what we are here to do. Now, if you would follow me over here, please. And he walks over to that strange mechanical cylinder dome-shaped structure. And standing next to it, he beckons you forward as if wanting you to stand around it in a circle.
Okay. Seth definitely does that.
Yeah.
He does that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Rowan
He
meanders
does that
on
for him.
over.
Yeah.
Lily's in no hurry.
Lily is sipping sipping her coffee.
Head in the Ivysaur in the corner.
Seth brings his cup. He's enjoying the taste. It's fun. New things. Great.
And Jay,
I'm already there.
you're already there. Okay.
Dude, he's already here.
So as Lily was petting the Ivysaur, it actually like kind of snoozily wakes up, looks up at you with half-lidded eyes, licks your hand, and then like closes its eyes again and falls back asleep.
Oh, shit, that was also cute.
That was satisfying enough. Lily's gonna amble on over to where the others are now.
Okay. So, Dr. Zelkova watching you and sort of just like shaking his head and laughing at what happened under his breath, waits for you to approach. And as you do so, he says, "Ah, yes, the moment that I've been waiting for. Now, meeting the lot of you has been a great deal of fun, but now for the most exciting part of today." And pushing a button on the side of the machine, the dome on top unleashes and like slinks back down into the sides of the dome. And sitting on the central piece are 4 little circular holes that, once the professor presses another button, 4 Pokeballs slowly ascend up through the tubes and come to sit on the central pillar.
Did they crack open like a soda?
No.
Is that what I heard?
No. They slowly are sliding up like central, almost like pneumatic tubes. Only they slowly come up and like situate themselves on top of this cylinder-like device.
Tubes.
And he says, "Your Pokemon partners. I know that you're excited to meet them, so shall we just go ahead and let them out, or did you want to say anything before we get to this moment?
No.
Everybody's getting a little too excited.
I'm really excited.
Seth is trying really, really, really hard to keep his excitement in check. But he's like, no, come on, let's let him out.
Rowan is trying to conceal don't feel right now and failing miserably. She's pumped. She's pumped. She's never had her own Pokemon before.
I mean, I'm gonna be good with really any Pokemon. A Carnivine, a Cagnia, a Bellsprout, any kind of grass type. It's gonna be fine.
Your interests are easy to detect. That's good in a person. But anyway, the professor reaches out and he kind of like bops all 4 Pokeballs like 2 at a time on their buttons, and they do the insert Pokeball release noise here. And as the light shoots out, the 4 beams of light fall down outside of the ring of you guys, so they're kind of like surrounding you in a semicircle arc, standing next to you. The first one that comes into view, he says, is, "Allow me to introduce you to the first of your options, the Ghost Fire-type Pokemon, Litwick." And this small little candle-like object kind of waddles around like a lump of melting wax. Its yellow eyes blinking as it finally comes into full form. The blue light on the top of the wick snapping about, and it kind of just happily like waves its 2 little nubby arms and wiggles around like a tiny little candle baby.
Oh my god, Snubby.
I love it. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah.
I look over at Seth and I'm just like, oh. Oh, I see.
The next beam of light that comes into form and shapes almost seems like a long, wiggly, floaty tube, and then it starts to even out until you see... yes, and next we have here the Electric-type Pokemon, and I actually forgot its name.
What?
Hold on, I have my notes here. Tynamo, sorry. Is that the name, or is it, I think that's it.
Oh, the whole eel thing?
Yeah. So it's
okay.
Little wiggly eel-type electric fishy guy just wiggling his little body around and, like, floating around and looking at one person, then looking at the other, and then it floats back over to stand next to Litwick, and they kind of look like they're talking to each other.
Oh my god.
That's pretty fucking cute.
Oh my god.
That's pretty fucking
I love it.
The next beam of light starts to coalesce, and as it does so, you can see what looks like a round orb, and it starts to like wiggle to the left a little bit, wiggle to the right a little bit, and then it flops over, and you see that the orb on its bottom seems to grow an expanding disc until the light finally forms, and it's a blue orb on top of a green disc. And Dr. Zelkova kind of shakes his head, walks over, picks it up, turns it over, and puts it back down right ways. And then it looks up, and almost as if politely saluting the doctor, it goes, "Lotad." And he says, "The water grass Pokemon, Lotad."
Lotad!
And then finally, as the last beam of light comes to land on the other side of you, it coalesces into a dome shape with a bunch of light spikes. And the spikes seem to slowly arrange themselves until they're in an almost arch-like position. And then when the light fades away in its color, it looks like it's some sort of strange purple porcupine, until two almost rabbit-like ears pop up, and then shaking its head, it looks up at you, and you see the poison-type Pokemon. Nidoran of the male variety, actually.
Ah.
Cool.
And then looking at the four of them, the four Pokemon start, like, talking amongst themselves, looking at you guys, excitedly kind of, like, nuzzling each other. Lotad falls over again. The Nidoran walks over and kind of like uses its horn to nudge the Lotad back over, and Dr. Zelkova says, "Well, this is the moment you've all been waiting for, hasn't it? It's time for you to choose your starter Pokemon." And the DM asks the lot of you to roll a d20.
Oh fuck.
Ah!
Chicka,
Okay.
chicka, chicka, choo, choo.
There we go.
Hannah and I are gonna be sharing one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
that's fine. You're just
Here I-
spoiler, you're gonna go in the order that you roll, so
Okay.
Oh.
Here I go. 8.
7.
That would be a 6.
That's a 6.
wow.
Oh, I'm gonna go 13th.
You roll 13. All right, so that means Lily goes first, and the professor says, you know, if you've decided, you're more than welcome to select your partner. Just take the Pokeball that they came out of, and they're each marked with like a little type symbol that indicates what type they are, so you know who belongs to whom.
But the Pokemon are all still out of the balls, right?
Oh yeah, the Pokemon are all still kind of just talking amongst themselves and like looking at you guys occasionally, just, you know, acting like you would imagine like a litter of kittens would be playing with each other.
Cripes. So
Uh,
fucking cute.
Lily
God damn it.
walks over to those Pokemon, and she squats down next to that Lotad, and then she very gently, very carefully brushes her forehead up against its forehead.
Oh.
And then, after a brief pause, you hear,
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
she picks up her Lotad, and she picks up the ball.
All right. Almost in response to what you had just done, the Lotad also goes, Tad. And so Dr. Zelkova says, so you'll take the water grass type Pokemon Lotad?
Yes, the grass water type Lotad.
That's precisely right. Yes, correct.
And he ushers his like hands in the direction of the Pokeball, like indicating for you to take it. And you're welcome to return the Pokemon to the Pokeball. In fact, he actually says, please, at least for the time being, return the Pokemon to its Pokeball so we can move on to the next stage once we're done here.
Okay.
It'll only be until we finish selecting Pokemon, trust me. And the
Hour and a
Lotad,
half.
as it gets like hit by the beam of light, falls over, but then turns into the light and gets sucked into the Pokeball.
Why does it fall over?
He's a very unbalanced Lotad.
Oh.
That's just a character trait. Feel free to like adopt that or not. It's fine. So next we have Seth. Seth, you have the next choice. So
He's already holding the wood.
So
He's
Seth,
already
I
doing
believe you should. Okay. And the Litwick is kind of just like wobbling in your grasp, he's happy. He's just very wiggly. He's just very happy to be in your arms.
Oh, he's so happy that he's wiggly. That's his best quality, his wiggles.
So he suggests that you take the Pokeball once again. Says, please, for the time being, return him to the Pokeball, and once we get to brunch, you'll be able to take them back out if you'd like.
Okay. See you in a minute, buddy.
And
Pew.
So Fafnir, I believe you're next. We do still have our little friend Tynamo and Nidoran here. Which one would you prefer?
The one that's better to have advantage of.
I mean, you can talk with Rowan and see if there's one that maybe she wants, if you want to discuss it, or if you just want to go ahead and take one, you're more than welcome to.
Dynamo's really cool, Jay. Really cool.
Yeah. Good one. Well, Rowan, what do you think? I'm actually not too particular about these two. They're both good.
Are you really not particular about either of these
I think I am good. Yes.
two? Really?
Yeah.
You really don't care?
No, I think they'll both make fine Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right. Then I really, this Nidoran is really cute. And I love
had
it.
a feeling.
I really, it has ears. And it's cool. I like it. If that's cool with you or whatever.
Yes. I think I will have fun with Tynamo.
Dynamo, the ugly Pokemon.
Oh.
So
It'll
the
be
two
beautiful
of you
in my
have,
heart.
The two of you have reached an accord then.
I believe so. I
Yes.
really.
Good. I'm glad. And then, motioning for you to take the Pokeballs, he once again says, please just return them to their Pokeballs for now until we get to the cafeteria, and then you can bring them back out if you'd like.
Yay!
And then they do
Do
that,
so?
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She's
I'm not
taking
going
notes.
to
Give her a moment.
assume that what your characters do, so at least give me a, I return him or whatever, so that I know what you're
Yes,
doing.
I do that thing that you told me to do. Sorry.
It's okay. Alright, so once all of the Pokemon are returned to their Pokeballs, the professor says, yes, I was very much looking forward to that moment. I'm very glad that we were able to get there. Right, but of course, before I let you out on your journey, you should know that the only way that the Pokemon League will be able to tell that you're a team is if you have, where did I put them? And then looking
Capes!
around. No.
No, no
not
capes.
required.
No.
Looking around
But I
frantically,
came prepared.
he shoves his hands to his pockets and they're not there. He runs over to the desk and he opens. He's like, here we go, of course. He brings over to you what looks like a closed case, almost like a very small briefcase, but without a handle, just like a small little latch case. And opening it up, inside are 4 jewels with 20 sides. You would say that this shape is probably very familiar to you for some reason you don't know why. And he says, these jewels are what represent you as this year's entrance into the Pokemon League. Every entrant has a different color, and this year's color is a very deep royal purple color. Yes, that is what we believe would best represent this year's theme. Now, if you don't mind, he says, handing one to each of you, there's a small little, eye hook on the edge of one of the points if you want to attach it to, a chain or, a keychain or to a pin or something, whatever. Any way you want to fix it to yourself, feel free to do so. But please note that in order to get into any gym match inside of the Cetro region, you will need to present these gems together. Otherwise, they will not accept your battle.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So we should not lose these.
You
Got it.
should not lose those under penalty of being disqualified.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I wonder. I look at this and I wonder if maybe perhaps I could fashion a necklace with it or something like that.
Yeah, if you'd like to. I mean, it's basically just got like a circular little like eye hook at the end of one of the tips. And so if you wanted to like loop like a thin chain through it, or if you wanted to like attach it to like a clasp or something, any way you want to affix it to something, basically you can. I'm allowing you to have creative like choice here.
I'm gonna say that I already have like a chain, like bracelet on, and I just clip it to one of the chains.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Seth has like a little bit heavier style chain that he has hanging at his hip, and he'll put it right there.
Okay. And Jay and until I get your characters' names down, Jay and Ryu.
Kyrian and Lily.
What?
Hello?
Ball chain?
Yes?
Uh-oh.
What, hello?
Do you have any particular
Oh.
way that you're going to affix your gem, or are you just going to pocket it? Like, what's the deal with these things?
Okay. Are they just a sphere?
No, they're 20-sided things. Remember?
Right.
Right. And they have a little loop that you can slip something through if you have it.
Well, I have a breast pocket. I'm going to put it right over my heart. Meh.
Huh.
Bracelet.
Just in the pocket, unaffixed to anything.
No. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not shut.
All right. Got it.
Bracelet.
Okay.
Nice.
Bracelet.
Nice.
Are you
Oh,
yelling
shit.
at your bracelet?
Professor?
Bracelet.
Did Falchion mute?
Think so? I don't see it coming on the. Do you see our voices? Bah! No, they can still hear us.
How is Falchion dead on the stream?
I don't. It's like his mic may have just.
Yeah,
stopped
that's
working.
probably his mic. Something happened to his mic, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that, everybody. Sorry.
That's
the
okay.
bracelet
Hello.
broke my
I'm
mic.
back.
I'm back, sorry. The bracelet broke my
Yay.
mic.
How you're hosting the stream and then suddenly we're the ones that can be heard. Like, we can't take ourselves off air.
No, sorry. The microphone just, I think, for some reason the cord came unaffixed, but whatever, it's fine now.
Okay, we know what we're doing with all of our.
Yeah, I got it. I got
D20.
bracelet. I got it. Sorry about that.
Got it.
So, with all of the gems secreted away on your person somewhere, the professor smiles and says, "Great. Now, there are a few other things that I should probably provide you with. Yes." And reaching into his drawer again, he pulls out a small satchel and handing it to whoever's closest. Let's just say Kyrian. Here you go, Kyrian. Poof.
Yeah.
He pushes a satchel into your arms, and inside of it, if you open it up, is
Oh.
20 Pokeballs.
Oh! How many are in full?
How many what?
How many
Yeah, full.
Pokemon in them already?
No.
Yeah.
Those are empty, sir. Sorry.
You've
You've already
right,
gotten
right.
your
Oh,
free
okay, let me-
Pokemon for today.
Sorry, I got excited.
So.
Oh, I do have an important question.
Yes.
Because kind of rushed over here. Are axes allowed? And I like open my cape and it's tied to my belt.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
Probably not in the fight, but
Right, but like
You gonna
as an
axe a
adventuring
Pokemon?
material.
Oh, wait. Are we all sharing 20 Pokeballs?
You sure are.
Oh, fuck. Alright.
5 each.
Well, for now.
So
for
don't
now.
miss.
Well, I mean, we can buy more.
Yes. I'm sure you all understand that when you get into a Pokemon battle, for some reason, if you lose, people are just compelled to give you their money. So,
You mean if you win?
yes, whatever. You know what I mean.
If we lose hard enough, they'll feel bad for us.
They'll feel bad for you and just upend their pockets and hand you money.
Oh, great.
Anyway, so with that in place, we can go ahead and we can start brunch. So, if you'll follow me over here, I actually have a doorway that leads right to the brunch hall. So, it makes it a little easier for me to get my my food without needing to bother all the others. Oh, who am I kidding? I have a weak spot for donuts, and they make them fresh every morning, and I have to be the first one there.
I understand.
And behind the couch, he sort of like moves the couch back a little bit, and there's actually a sliding panel that he pushes back, and there's a hallway, and I'm assuming that Lily immediately can smell the scent of like waffles and bacon and donuts and like other melons, fresh fruits and what have you, far in the distance down this hallway.
Yeah, you assumed correctly.
And so,
Hungry.
walking you down the halls, you get to the cafeteria, which looks like a pretty generic cafeteria you might see at like a university or something. There's a bunch of tables, and in the back is where all the food is. And there's also a section that you can get poffins and other Pokemon food dispensed from. So he ushers you to feel free and take whatever food you like. It's on the house, or I suppose you could say on the lab for today. And whenever you're ready to depart, let us know, and we will get you on your journey and get you. I'll point you in the direction towards the first gym.
Okay, the first thing I do is get Nidoran out of his Pokeball
Yep.
and just like sit on the floor and just sit in front of him on my butt, just be like, hi.
And it's at this point where I'm going to say, when a Pokemon is introduced, I will give it some sort of like personality or quirk or whatever, but you can choose whether or not to keep that. From then on, you're going to be enacting the role of your own Pokemon, so feel free to give whatever sort of personality or actions or traits or whatever you want, so go ahead.
Lolotad, motherfucker!
Sure, if that's what you want.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a baller Lotad.
Do all of our Pokemon have unique type combinations?
Yeah, they do.
No, what I mean is, Lotad I know is the only grass water Pokemon, and I
Oh,
think
I see.
Litwick's the only ghost fire Pokemon.
Sounds
And then
right.
I think Nidoking and Nidoqueen are ground poison, which is unique.
Correct.
Well,
Dynamo, I
Tynamo,
think, is just electric.
which
though.
is not something that only it
Does
has. I
it,
don't
does it
think.
evolve into?
No, it's all electric all the way through.
Are you sure other Pokemon have electric?
I'm pretty sure Pikachu.
Ah, fuck Pikachu. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Alright, theory
Also,
abandoned.
I did notice that all of our starters, the final evolution requires a stone.
So someone did recognize that. Good.
Interesting, I see.
Well,
I'm pretty sure, unless Tynamo doesn't. I don't know Tynamo very well, but I'm gonna now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
I
but-
think.
Dynamo has levitate.
It does. That's
Oh,
pretty good, Jack.
That's pretty dope.
For
Yeah.
an electric type, that's pretty dope. Yeah.
excuse me while I add.
I was
this
gonna
giant-
wonder how it's gonna follow me around, but I'm glad it's
Oops.
It's floating
levitating.
in the air.
Yay!
What's whoops?
Oh, I just
I was
changed
looking at the screen for a
the
second.
bottom layer a little bit.
You gotta
Let's
lock
see.
your layers.
I do what I want. Anyway, you guys are free to. This is supposed to be like you guys interacting with each other and your new Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah, we are interacting with each other.
Yeah, Rowan's doing things.
Wait, well, tell me about my Nidoran. Can you tell me his, his
You wanna-
nature or
You
whatever?
want to name that Nidoran?
The Pokemon in this game will not have natures. You can
Okay.
give them whatever sort of like personalities you want.
Okay.
But
Falstring, did you just name that little? Did you just name the Nidoran Litwick
I
in
did.
your OBS layers?
I also nicknamed the Litwick Nidoran.
Oh, fucking why?
When I make a mistake, I know how to fix it in the way that my brain will understand it.
No.
So, if you're gonna call it every mistake that I make, then you can run the stream.
Okay. There
Giant
he
Lotad.
is. There's my boy.
And there he goes. Whoop. Whoop.
I think my team viewer
So-
crashed back a long while ago when we were looking at the town. Now I'm seeing it. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
I got pink. Y'all be jelly, I got
Oh, I'm
Hell
so
yeah.
happy.
pink. Hell yeah.
Oh,
So, brunch, eh?
Oh,
but,
right.
Sorry, since Hannah did ask, your Pokemon will have abilities, and your Nidoran's ability is Rivalry.
Rivalry.
Oh, that's fun.
Alright. What moves does it have right now?
Oh, right, I should probably say, sorry. All the Pokemon you get start at level 5.
Okay.
Oh!
I am going to have to... I'll keep track of it myself, but just for the sake of trying to balance out my own sanity and the amount of a lot of complex shit goes into Pokemon.
We'll keep track of our own levels and everything.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, like, please make sure that you have a copy of your own Pokemon and their moves, at least the ones you have on you, because otherwise that's going to be a shit ton of information that I'm going to have to, like, shuffle through every time. But
Yeah.
as of right now, your Nidoran has Peck and Leer and Focus Energy.
Cool. Thank
about
you.
What about Litwick? What does Litwick have?
What does Litwick have? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Song in its heart.
What?
I said a song in its heart.
A song in its
Got
heart.
some pretty,
All right,
got
so
some pretty good wiggles going on.
yeah, he's
a
very
wiggly.
wiggly. First of all, it is the first one that I do have to mention the gender of, since we haven't. Well, Nidoran male already comes with its gender in its name, but your Litwick is a male,
Okay.
and it has the ability Flash Fire.
Ability flash fire. Okay.
Yep, it's powered up if it's hit by a fire move.
Ooh.
And again,
Okay.
level 5, and it has the attacks Ember and Smog.
Nice. I'll take it. What about the others while we're at it?
Sure. Let's see.
I
Let's
guess.
Let's do Tynamo. Tynamo has the ability Amorphous. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. I looked at the wrong thing. It has the ability Levitate, because that's the only ability it has. Its egg group is Amorphous.
No!
But it has Levitate. And it's a female.
Ooh.
So you have a ladyfish. And it has the attacks Tackle and Spark.
Ooh, Spark's good.
And that's everybody, right? That's everybody. We don't have to worry about
Yep.
everybody else.
Oh wait, shit, fuck. Lotad, motherfucker.
All right, so your Lotad is female.
My boy.
All right, fine. It's a boy now. I can change that.
Yeah.
If you want it to be a male, it's a male. And it has the ability Rain Dish. No, you know what? Fuck it. Since I gave it a sort of silly, like, nature, it's gonna have it's the ability Own Tempo. Congratulations, yours has a hidden ability.
Woo! Moves.
And it has the attacks Astonish and Growl.
Awesome. I'm gonna kick ass. You're gonna flinch like you never flinched before.
And for people asking questions in the chat, the game is going to follow the standard Pokemon video game rules about as close as I feel is warranted. For example, there aren't going to be, like, I might change things like what level Pokemon learn moves, what levels Pokemon evolve. If I say your Pokemon evolves in the middle of battle because I think it's going to be a cool fucking scene, then your Pokemon evolves in the middle of battle.
Okay, yeah, that aligns with what I want and expect.
Cinematic, yeah.
So yeah, and there you go. So those are your Pokemon. Those are their moves, and you guys are more than free to continue getting brunch if you want, talking, getting to know each other if you have any plans, concerns.
Okay.
All right. Well, the first thing I do once Nidoran and I have
Figured out what.
basically what I did is I sat down, I introduced myself to Nidoran, and I learned all that information. The next thing I do is I go and get it some brunch first before I get myself some, and then we both sit down with a fuck ton of food in front of us, and we chow the fuck down.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Litwick, we gonna go sit down. We gonna figure out exactly what Litwicks eat. we gonna figure that out. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, can it have like a substitute?
No, it hasn't learned substitute yet.
Oh, alright. Jackass. Alright, I'm just gonna assume it eats like Pokemon food.
Yeah, it
And
can
like
eat Poppins
food.
or like whatever other Pokemon chow they have there.
Cool. Yeah, that's gonna be probably what I do for a little while.
Do you sit down with me, or are you sitting somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down next to you. And then Litwick is probably. Does Litwick have a weight? He's a ghost.
Yeah, it has a weight. Give me 1 second. I can bring that back up. He weighs approximately 6.8 pounds.
Okay.
Wow.
Approximately
That's a-
6.8.
That's a heavy candle.
Yeah, and I can interact with it, like it's physical and all that.
Yeah, no, he's
Okay.
physical. You can do, you can interact with him however you like.
All right, great. Yeah, he probably maybe if he's 6 pounds, I won't sit him up on the table, but like we'll hang out in the same seat and we'll pig out and we'll figure out exactly what it's about.
When you sit down at the table with me and Nidoran, I do the upwards head nod, but I do not stop eating.
No, that's fine. I wouldn't expect you to. Litwick is wiggling and examining that Nidoran. He's like, whoa,
The Nidoran sniffs your Litwick.
so spiky.
It kind of wants to touch the fire, but it doesn't.
It's not a good idea.
He is very busy. He is also hungry.
I think I understand that it's not a good idea to touch that anyway.
So, go ahead.
Lily sits on down next to Seth, opposite of Rowan, and
Yes.
she has assembled her brunch plate in a very aesthetically pleasing manner, like better than the preparers of the actual meal did. She rearranged it to have a bit more flair to it, like a little leaf broken over the top of her waffle or whatever. And she goes and has a seat. Meanwhile, Lotad is lying upside down on the table next to her.
Aw.
On its lily pad.
Yeah.
Aw,
He's an unbalanced little boy. He's got his own tempo.
he's cute.
And
Falls
Jay,
over
what are you
at
up
every
to?
opportunity.
I am just staring at Tynamo.
You're
Just-
staring at him.
It's a floating fish.
Yeah.
Eel.
It's the last thing I expected about it. I'm gonna just lightly like push it and watch it kind of float away and be like, wow. Just
Is that all you got, Jack? You gonna push him?
You're not gonna feed him?
well, no wait. I'm just looking at it first, trying to figure out how it works.
How it works?
Like, because okay, full disclosure, I'm not sure what it eats. I'm working on it. I'm thinking about it, but I'm gonna figure this out.
Man, I got a candle. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna eat.
Yeah,
Boy, I got a candle.
I mean, I'm looking at its mouth, and my first question is, what's going to fit in an X?
It gets a little nibbles.
Cut up an apple.
Nom, 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 nom.
Cut up an apple. Oh, that's cute.
All right, so as you guys continue to eat your lunch, there we go. Sorry, brunch, and you finish up, the professor comes back in and he's got a whole tray of donuts, probably at least a dozen, in a neat little like circular pyramid shape on a plate. And walking over to the lot of you, he sits down, places the plate of donuts in front of him, puts down the mug of coffee, picks up one of the donuts and starts dunking it, and begins looking at the lot of you and saying, "So, have you had the opportunity to spend some time with your Pokemon friends? Have you filled your stomachs? Are you guys feeling excited for your adventure coming up?"
I'm on my second or third large plate of food. And I'm sure my mouth is like this, but I'm really fucking pumped, my guy.
I got most of that. Yeah. Let's see here. Seth, how does Seth eat? He eats in small little bites. He's looking at Rowan. He's like, nice. I wish I could eat that much. And then he's eating very quietly. He's like, I'm very excited, Professor. This is gonna be great.
And sorry, I got a question from Draken. Are these actual donuts or are they for kids donuts? No, these are real donuts. He's not
Can we also
dunking
Can we also have,
onigiri
like,
into...
yeah, can we also have onigiri?
If
for
you want,
breakfast?
yes, you can have onigiri if you want onigiri.
Nice.
And now I want onigiri. God
Me
damn
too.
it. Anyway,
Do we
so
need
the professor is like nodding happily, still dunking that donut. And he says, yes, good. It always does my heart well to see a new batch of Pokemon trainers off to start their league. Now, you'll probably want to know about the first gym. It's going to actually be in Hosta City. Now, Hosta City is quite a distance from here, so you will need to do a bit of walking before you get there. I do apologize in advance, but Terrenia Town is along the way. So you might want to stop there and pick up some supplies. You might actually have the ability to talk to some people and get more information about the gym in Hosta City too. Unfortunately, I am, as a member of the Pokemon League and one of its primary organizers, not allowed to really disclose much to new trainers. Otherwise, there's a whole problem with picking favorites and gaming the system. And as he goes to take a bite of the donut he's been dunking, his teeth clack down and there's no donut there. The other half of the donut has already melted into the coffee while he was talking.
Oh.
Okay. So when you say far, how far do you mean?
Oh, well,
Good
Terrenia Town, which I will put the spelling of into the chat for
Gee, yeah,
anyone
thank
who
you.
cares.
Appreciate it.
Boop, boop, boop. Terrenia Town is probably about a day's walk from here. You'll want to take the path out of Anther Town to the north. You'll want to go directly down Route 1, and then take a left down Route 2, and when you get to the end of that, you'll find that's Terrenia Town. From what I've heard, they have a great amount of shops there, a lot of eateries. You'll have plenty to do there. You might actually be able to pick up some information again about the gym in Hosta City, which I will now post the name of.
Is it good to assume that if we just follow the numbered roads, then we'll end up in a good spot?
See, you might believe that, friends. Yeah, as they have developed the Central region, they did name the routes in a rather interesting and simple way. But
Convenient.
yeah, it is very convenient until you start getting into the double digits, and then the branched paths start coming in. Heaven knows what Pokemon trainers do at that point.
Gosh.
That's honestly beyond me. In fact, to tell you the truth, and he suddenly gets a very sullen look on his face. He puts down the half of a donut, and he picks up his spoon and sort of nervously kind of moves it around in his hand. He puts it into the coffee, and he starts stirring it. To tell you the truth, he draws out a smooshed piece of the donut that's been dissolving in the coffee and like eats it with the spoon. Swallows hard.
Yep.
To tell you the truth, it's been quite some time since anybody's actually managed to complete the Pokemon League, and the town spirits have been kind of low over it. In fact,
Lily looks very, very grave in the face. He died?
Oh,
my
no,
God.
no, they don't
What?
die.
The spirits are
Oh.
actually they seem like they're doing okay.
Wait, they died? I'm sorry. What? I was not paying attention.
Mm.
This is Lily. I was
Nobody
paying
has
attention.
died.
Lily was, or not Lily. Rowan wasn't.
Well, I mean, there's a couple that I'm not gonna say nobody's died.
Nobody has died
Okay.
as part of taking part of the Cetro Pokemon League.
Yeah.
Not directly.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Give us time.
Anyway, my
Too many
point
nat
is
ones.
that many teams have tried, and it's been decades actually since anyone's managed to complete it. And I don't mean to get your concerns up, he says, taking a big swig of his coffee, and his face wears an expression of shock for a second, and then you see him suddenly start chewing, and then he swallows and puts the coffee back down.
Is everybody in this place okay?
You forgot that he dunked the donut in there and it dissolved, and now there's like chunks of donut.
No, nobody forgot.
He forgot.
Oh, okay. I see.
Normally what happens is that the teams end up breaking up before they finish. They end up having some sort of disagreement, or somebody doesn't feel as if they're going to make it through, and he pauses for a moment and sort of nervously scratches at the back of his head and says, kind of under his breath unintentionally, or somebody thinks that they're too good for their team and tries to break off on their own.
Story time?
Shaking his head, he sort of like clears his eyes and says, but I'm sure that won't befall the lot of you, right? You seem like you're more than capable of working together.
Yes!
I look at Lily and I take her hands in my hands. I'm finally not eating anymore. And I'm like, I would never leave you.
Weird.
Weird.
And then Lily, thinking, oh yeah, this is a group thing that we're all doing, then takes Carrion's hand with her other hand.
Seth kind of takes both Kyrion's hand and Rowan's hand, and he's just like
has to fight for Rowan's hand.
Well, no, there's a second hand, you see.
Rowan like resists a little bit, but then doesn't.
Friends now.
It's going great.
Against your better judgment, friends. All right.
Are you gonna wear that cape the whole time?
Yes! It's very useful. Like I said, I forgot my blanket, but I have an axe!
Good.
And a cape.
And a cape! So if
What
you're
else
anywhere
do you
cold,
have?
He has a dynamo.
He does have a dynamo.
dynamo.
I also have this little thing in my pocket. It's shaped like a weird, like diamond thing.
Oh,
I know what
yeah.
to do with it.
Okay. All right, everybody's taking inventory.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Anyway, he says, looking at the lot of you and picking up his second donut and starting to nibble on it. Did you need any further assistance or help before you're set on your way? Oh, yes. My dear, I had forgotten. He takes out his cell phone and he just starts like typing on it rapidly. And all four of you, assuming you all have cell phones.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All four of you would get a text message from Dr. Zelkova, and it's a link to download the latest edition of the Pokédex app.
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh!
That's some fancy shit. Is this free?
Oop.
Yes. All you'll have to do is put in your trainer cards. Oh, yes, right, the trainer cards. Sorry, we had to have them printed. Right, he reaches around in his pockets and he grabs them, 4 trainer cards out of his pockets, and he like pushes them over to you. There are chips inside of those cards, listed underneath of the Cetro symbol at the top right corner of your card. If you just place that near your phone when accessing the Pokédex app, it will allow you to use the feature, otherwise it won't work. So, right, I guess I should probably say don't lose those either.
Okay, lots of stuff not to lose.
Well, you won't be disqualified if you lose the trainer card. You just won't be able to use the Pokédex app, that's all. Oh, or the PCs.
Yeah,
Those-
Henry, I'm on an Aroma Girl salary, and I don't really have a data plan on my phone. This is kind of like when everyone was playing Pokemon Go, and I just kind of had to stay at home, right?
I was a big
Like-
fan of that.
Don't-
Everybody was way into it for like a week.
Worry, the Citro Pokemon League will provide you with a stipend to cover the Pokédex app. And any data it may use.
How nice.
Is that okay, Miss Smelser? Any further concerns?
No, I'm quite at peace.
Good. Anyway, he says, shoving the rest of the donut into his mouth and chewing it down and swallowing it.
He's tired of us.
No. He seems to be in good humor for most of it. He looks around, like, seems to be pleased that the Pokemon he's given you have been enjoying their new companionship, aside from the Dynamo, which seems to just be getting, like, nudged around and floating in the sky.
No, this is great. Let it go.
All right. Well, again, it should be noted that most of your sanctioned matches will be done as a group. I know I said that in my letter, but I just want to reinforce that. Now, any sort of other tasks, unsanctioned events, you're more than welcome to do alone, but do remember, no sneaking into gyms alone, no trying to take on gym leaders by yourself. They will not accept, and you will probably be arrested.
Whoa, arrested?
Arrested?
It is
By,
illegal.
like, the police?
Yes,
How many Jennies you got?
all of them.
Henry, look at us in the face. We're not gonna break any of the rules.
He looks at each of you in the face, and then he looks at Lily. Okay. Looks at Kyrian. Looks at Seth. Looks at Rowan.
What has Seth done wrong?
You just all look super suspicious except for Lily.
Rowan is a delinquent. Like, I based her design off of a delinquent. She's a delinquent.
Rowan was committing crimes when he looked over.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
already
Rowan-
trying to steal food even though it was free.
Yeah, Rowan's pocketing, like, donuts right now.
Shoving it
do-
into Lily's purse.
Do
Yeah.
leave some of those. I will need those for second lunch. That is important.
Second lunch.
I leave
you a hobbit?
2 donuts. The rest are in Lily's purse.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyway,
Well.
he's like rearranging the donuts on his plate. If you need anything else, let's see. You've got the Pokemon app. I've given you the Pokeballs. You've gotten the Pokemon themselves. I do believe that's everything. Oh yes, the crystals. You got those. You're more than welcome to continue on to your journey. I've given you the directions to make your way to Terenia Town, and Hosta is right beyond that. I will tell you, however, I probably shouldn't provide you with this information, but you look like a good lot of friends. So, I am going to give you a bit of information about the gym in Hosta City. Let's just say you're going to be in for one exciting time. And he just sort of starts laughing to himself and chewing on another donut.
I agree!
What does that mean?
I don't get it.
Why are you laughing like that?
Oh, I'm funny. Didn't you notice?
No.
Am I not funny?
Oh, was it not? It wasn't supposed to be ominous?
Does
no,
he have an
it was supposed
electric
to be
or?
funny.
Okay.
Exciting.
It's very ominous. He said he was going to give us information, and then he said it was going to be exciting.
That's such bad information.
It's terrible information. Is that what you wanted to tell us about the gym?
No, that's not at all the thing I wanted to tell you about the gym. The thing I wanted to tell you about the gym is that the gym leader there will actually only accept challenges at nighttime.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's kind of a strange fellow. You actually will probably not be able to miss him, but yeah, he'll only accept challenges at night. So you might want to get some sleep the day before. So you might actually, I'll leave that up to you. But again, it might take you a couple of days to get there, and you're gonna want to go to Terenia Town first. So I'm already getting ahead of myself.
All right. Well, thanks for the tip. And I'm like my pockets are full and like about to like fall out with breakfast items.
Bratwurst.
And I'm just backing out sort of towards the back door. So We ready to go?
Yeah.
That those were free, right? You didn't have to.
Yeah.
You're acting
no,
fairly suspicious.
it's cool. I'm like, they're like falling out, and I'm like, no.
Seth is walking past her, and he just calls back excitedly, "They're for later, thank you."
And he kind of just waves the lot of you off as you're walking through the door that leads, I'm assuming, back. I'm assuming you're going through the door, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I was gonna take the window, but now that you've suggested the door.
Okay, I'm asking
I was
if
gonna
you're
see how long
leaving
it
the
might be-
room. Okay. As you're leaving the room, you like open the door, and as you do so, you hear like a boom. Boom.
No, it's
Craig
not fucking
masturbating?
Craig.
Oh, Craig might be dead.
And as you come around the other side of the door, you would see Craig lying on the ground, stacks of paper scattered everywhere.
I step over Craig.
Why don't you guys watch where you're going?
Craig, the papers
Lily.
again! No! Lily leans down to help pick up some papers.
And as you lean down to pick up one of the papers, you actually see in at the header of the document you pick up, research into 4 previously unknown legendary Pokemon species.
4.
This is something that only
Ooh.
Lily has seen so
Uh-huh.
far.
Ah,
She picked up that paper and she would see that on it.
Right, but Lily's got a stone cold reactionless poker face. So she just kind of stores this information in the back of her head and shuffles some papers together and hands it to Craig. But not hiding in any way that she did see it. The paper that she looked at is at the top of the stack.
And as you're shuffling the papers together, Craig gets back to his feet, frantically like snatching things up and adjusting his glasses and standing back up, and you swear that
Craiging.
general Craiging, and just you swear that there's at least 2 or 3 additional stains on his lab coat since the last time you've seen him. And he
That's quick.
notices that Lily has some of the papers, and he again kind of aggressively snatches them from her and like puts them back into the stack, and sneering at her through the glasses, he says, "Please stop getting in the way of my research. There's a reason why the professor trusts me with this delicate information, and I don't need the likes of some newbie Pokemon trainers going out to take on the league, messing with my research.
can you
Understood?"
stop?
Hang on. Lily hugs Craig.
He just completely starts tremoring. Like, he's just
okay.
violently shaking as you touch him.
Let us forget the pains of the past. Let us move forward into 2019 with a positive attitude and remember that everything's going to be okay.
I must warn you, physical contact causes me to vomit.
Oh, I'm going to let you go now. And there you go.
And as you let go, you notice that he's just about to like start like but as you let go, he's like, "Degenerates, all of you." And he just like turns his lab coat, dramatically billowing behind him, but kind of ruined by the fact that he kind of just scamperingly shuffles off back to his
I
desk.
trip Craig.
Do not trip Craig. He's already
I
gone.
trip Craig.
You do not trip
I
Craig. You
rolled to trip Craig.
tried to trip
I rolled a
Craig.
15. I rolled a 15. I tripped Craig.
Fine. You stick your leg out and Craig like trips
doesn't
over
flip.
your foot, but he manages to right himself.
I stare at him like, fucking do something, bitch.
And he stares back at you and then fights back one more heave in his chest as he scampers back to his desk.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Lily's
Why
ready
does
to
this
leave the
character
room.
exist?
Yeah. Rowan follows Lily.
I'm out.
Uh,
J input.
So, as you guys head out, everybody else just kind of waves to you, and they're like smiling. Some are giving you like thumbs up. Rose, who is now actually on her coffee break, notices that you guys are leaving, and she stands up and politely pushes her chair back under her desk. And walking back over to the lot of you, she looks over at Craig, and then she looks at you guys, and she says, "Hey, are you guys okay?"
Yeah, what?
I mean, looks like you guys are having some problems with Craig over there. Is that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's having a bad day.
Craig's problems are his own.
Yeah. He's just Craig, and
That guy seems under socialized.
Understood. Yeah, Craig. We really think he works himself too hard. The professor tries to tell him to get more sleep, but you can probably tell just by looking at him he doesn't do a good job of it.
Oh no, we can tell.
Okay, well, thank you anyway. I just want to wish you all the best of luck. And she like politely takes each of your hands and like shakes it, and she says like, it's been a while since we've had any good news about any of the teams going out of here, but we really hope that you guys succeed. Please do Anthertown proud. We'll all be cheering for you.
But no pressure.
And then she waves you off, and if you have nothing else to say to her or anybody else in the building, you're more than welcome to head out.
Hey, DM Shame, can you tell me exactly what I saw in the paper? Like, did I see like a silhouette or like a name, or what did I see?
Okay, so exactly what you saw in the paper was the I don't know if you've ever seen like the blurb on the front of like an academic article, but it's basically just a short description of what the paper's about. And supposedly you can surmise that Craig is writing this article about 4 legendary Pokemon that have yet to be discovered. And that's all that you were able to glean from the title. Yeah. If you wanted to know any further information, you would have actually had to have sat there and read the document.
Right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And as you guys are exiting the building, you can actually see some of the people waving to you in the background, in the window and stuff, waving. The Rabombis are out sitting on their respective 4 windows waving to you.
Oh, I definitely waved back at my Rabombi. I fucking loved that thing. It was so cute.
It was very precious. Love it.
Lily just takes a wistful breath.
Jay, you still here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. So as you make your way back out of the building and into Anthertown proper, you, again, we're told that the easiest way to go, the fastest way to go, would be down Route 1, and that would be out of the north side of town.
I think we should go south.
You can't.
I think we should go south.
The forest is too thick.
Let's go south.
The trees are doubled.
We will get on Lotad's back and swim to the ocean.
Nope.
All right,
fine. Let's go north.
North it is.
All right. So again, as you begin making your way up through town, all of the people waving at you and smiling, even you cheer. Some of the little kids run up and they're like, "Show me your Pokemon! I want to see your Pokemon!"
Oh, I totally have Nidoran out. Nidoran's walking with me.
Yeah, and Seth shows off Litwick to anybody that wants to look, and he's a little overwhelmed by the attention, but he's very happy.
Lily isn't necessarily trying to show off Lotad, just walking with Lotad in her arms, but Lotad is trying to be seen, desperately wiggling, look at me, I'm Lotad.
Nidoran is
little guy.
Nidoran's showing off, being a cool dude, He's like, "Hey, sup, hello, see, hello."
All right, as you make your way toward the north portion of town, there's the standard thick grass that carries the aroma of adventure, and there's a small path forward leading through some scattered trees, and you can actually see, as you're departing, there is a sign that wistfully has printed on the front of it, "Anthertown, where the future is born." And as you walk away from it, slowly plodding down the grassy path, you would see in the distance the long horizon, the sun finally cresting up, just about indicating around noontime in the sky. You can assume that Dr. Zelkova is probably finishing brunch and just readying himself for first lunch. And as you have the sense of adventure deeply nestled in your heart, you hear a kind of obnoxious voice screaming about something about a few yards away. And you just hear somebody saying, "Ah, come on! What the hell's wrong with ya?" And then a loud thump noise, and then a moan of pain.
I guess I'm gonna go check that out. I'm gonna go have a little peek. I'm gonna go take a little look. You know.
I follow them, passively curious.
Jay?
Maybe I'll just let them struggle.
Well, I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to say what they
Yes.
want to do and to act. I don't want to leave anybody out.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'll follow and look in. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you begin moving forward, you see an individual. You're approaching them from the back. They look like they're probably late teens, maybe early 20s. They have a looks like they're dressed in like a vest and a white button-up shirt from what you can tell from behind, black dress slacks, and actually some pretty decent looking, probably fancy shoes, you would guess. But they're using those shoes to very swiftly and harshly kick what looks like a small teddy bear that's teetering around, and it tries to stand back up, and the polka dot covered bear falls over before it can get back on its feet. And the guy again just shouts out, "Ah, come on, you can't even walk by yourself." And he gives it another
Nidoran, use
kick.
peck. Nidoran, use peck on that dude.
All right.
I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Do it.
Roll a d20.
16.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
All you basically had to do was not roll a 1. So since you're behind him, and you hit, you can go ahead and tell me what the Nidoran does.
Nidoran goes straight for the butt.
So he runs up to this guy and just like
Yeah,
gives him a
horns him right in
proctology
the butt.
exam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horns him right in the butt.
Hell, right in the butt.
All right. So, receiving a horn directly in the butt, the gentleman like shouts "Bleh!" and jumps, like spinning almost in midair, landing and like almost tumbling over, just taking a few steps backward and falling on his ass, which he immediately screams because he just got fucking horned in it. And then
Good.
scrambling back up to his feet, he's like looking around, and the guy, he's got, I'm gonna say, really short hair. It's black in color. I would say like it was shaved maybe about a month ago, and it's just started to grow back. His eyes are kind of narrow, and he's glaring at the lot of you. But otherwise, he seems to be pretty nicely dressed. He's got a neat, like, clean black pinstripe vest on. He's got a pretty slick-looking white collared shirt underneath. But he's got a interesting-looking tie on, and it's 4 different colors. It's red, blue, yellow, and green.
Fun.
All right.
And looking at the lot of you, he's like, "Oh, what'd you do that for?"
I'm gonna go ahead and place myself. We're walking. I continue the momentum until I'm between whatever that guy was kicking and him. And I just sort of crouch down like, "Sup, buddy?"
And as you move past the quote-unquote thing that he was kicking to get between it and him, you find out that the thing he was kicking was a Spinda. That now, since he's no longer being kicked, is able to get back to its feet and starts like, it is a little wobbly. He teeters to the left a little bit. He teeters to the right a little bit. And it starts like wobbling around trying to stand in place. And he looks down at you. The guy looks down at you. And then he looks up at I'm assuming the 3 others are still there. And he says, What would you go and attack a guy like that for? You got business with me or something? I'm trying to do something here.
Litwick drops out of Seth's arms and goes to check up on Spinda.
All right, and you would notice, or I guess Litwick would notice that the Spinda is covered, aside from in a series of pink specks or spots or whatever you want to call them. It also has a series of bruises over its body, which are dark purple.
Okay.
Oh, hell fucking no. How, what's the rating of this Pokemon game?
A little higher than most?
Is it,
We're going to say it's like PG-13.
Okay, can I carry a knife on me?
Um,
He gets an axe, why don't I get a fucking
sure,
knife?
you can have a knife.
Great, I show that off. I don't say anything, though.
Okay. So you pull out the knife, and the guy looks down at the knife, and he kind of, like, grits his teeth, and he looks up at you, and he looks at the other three people, and he says, "Look, lady, I don't care, I'll leave. Just give me my freaking Pokemon back, and I'll leave, okay?"
Oh, no.
Look,
Oh, that's cute that you think you could actually be in the position to negotiate with me, because I have the knife. So, you're gonna go. Actually, give me the Pokeball. Give me its fucking Pokeball.
I can't give
Give
you
me
the
its fucking Give me its fucking Pokeball.
I'm not gonna give you
I will put this in your head.
Okay, this got a little intense a little bit.
Maybe the knife was a bad idea.
Oh no, this is a great idea. Love the knife.
Lily.
Is someone gonna like stop me from this?
No, that's what's happening. Lily comes in and interjects and is like, "Can we all just stay calm a second and work on our breathing exercises? I'm sure there's a diplomatic solution to this."
There is a diplomatic solution to this, and it's you give me back my Pokemon, and I'll get out of your way. Otherwise, I don't get out of your way, and you get put on Team Tetrad's bad list.
That doesn't sound too bad.
It's called the bad list.
Litwick has started frowning a little bit in his direction and has sunk below the ground, disappearing from view.
The Spinda actually starts to totter over to the lot of you. I guess more so whoever is like furthest away from this gentleman who you've just met, and kind of like huddles between whoever's furthest away from the scary man.
Okay.
Okay, look, let's all calm down. We don't need the police on our tails, right? Nobody wants to get arrested, especially not Miss Knife Hand over here. So, just give me my Pokemon back. I'll leave. We're all good. We good? Is that
Listen,
okay?
buddy, I think you're under some misconceptions here. You're not getting it fucking back. All right? It's got bruises. And I have no choice but to assume that they came from you. You are not getting it back.
All right. Go ahead, sorry.
At this point, our new friend starts feeling very warm under his feet. Very, very warm.
The guy's like, what the hell is going on here? And he starts like trying to move around to see if he's stepped in something.
His shoes light on fire.
Ah! What the? Oh God! These shoes for $300 fucking dollars! Oh God!
And they were worth every penny.
Poke penny.
They look pretty good on fire.
And
I high five Seth.
and the guy like gritting his teeth through the pain, almost as if he's afraid to actually leave, almost as if the pain is worth staying to try and still fight for this. Finally shakes his head and just rips the tie off of his neck and throws it into the soil, and like taking the Pokeball out of his pocket, hurls it behind himself, and like he continues to run away, trying to like rip his shoes off in the process, saying like, it ain't worth it. It doesn't matter. I'll go back to the freaking salt mines. It ain't worth it. And he's like off in the distance, a small trail of charred grass, and following behind him.
Do we get any money from that?
Yeah,
did not get
I guess we didn't really engage him in a Pokemon battle. I engaged him in a battle.
Litwick rises up out of the ground and he's kind of like got his hands over his mouth. He's kind of giggling to himself.
I also high five Litwick.
You high five Litwick.
Yeah.
His tiny little like nub hand.
Yes. And Nidoran goes and fetches the Pokeball and brings it to me.
All right. So the Pokeball doesn't have any sort of special insignias or anything on it. It looks like it might actually be kind of old. The Pokeball itself has like a few scuff and crack marks on it. And the Spinda tottering around and wheeling back over to the right and scrambling back over to the left, and he kind of like falls down onto his butt and then like pushes himself back up. Looks up at the lot of you, and he seems like in his dizzied little eyes, like he's not sure what to do.
Okay. Seth goes and he sits down next to the Spinda, and he's like, "You okay, little dude? How's it going?"
And the Spinda walks over and he like leans on you just to keep himself steadied. And
he's drunk.
again, what?
He's drunk.
He's just a little drunk. And again, you can notice that it's obvious this Pokemon hasn't been treated well, to put it simply. And you can see that it might be best for him to be taken to a Pokemon Center as soon as possible. He's not gonna die, but he's definitely like in the red as
Uncomfortable.
far as HP is concerned.
Lotad takes the initiative to scoop the Spinda up onto its lily pad.
Oh!
We have a Pokeball.
We do have a Pokeball. But this is very cute.
This is better.
But I'm not saying this is the best solution. I'm saying this is what Lotad thought was the best solution.
Lotad, you're so good.
Good job, Lotad.
I think that, listen, I'm sorry for pulling the knife out first thing. I kind of felt like it was necessary in the situation.
I tend to agree.
Okay, cool. So why don't we just go ahead and put the Spinda in its ball and take it to the next town, and we can decide what we're gonna do then.
Makes sense.
Here,
Okay.
here.
All right, cool beans.
All right.
Then I take the Pokeball and I put Spinda back in. I pat Spinda on the head and say, "Listen, we're gonna get you to a center. I'll take care of you until then." And then I put it in its ball.
boop its nose with the button.
I boop its nose with the button and I put the ball back in my pocket.
Aw.
And I ruffle. I pet Nidoran for being such a good boy.
Very cute.
Litwick good.
All right. So, as you see the slightly charred path of grass leading down further along the route, this is, just imagine your standard old Route 1 country road. There's not a whole lot going on. In the distance, you can see what looks like maybe a body of water that you think you remember something about a large lake somewhere nearby, but you're not exactly sure if that's close enough. You're walking down the road and there's, Pokemon jumping through the grass now and again, playing with each other, running along, and, it's just a normal, sunny, pleasant day, and you can see coming up a little bit further in the distance, there's what looks like a toll booth, like a toll, I don't know what to call it, like
building?
an overpass. Yeah, like a toll
Okay.
building, I guess would be the best way to say it. And as you approach that, you can see that there's a gentleman sitting at the little toll area, and he's in this little window, kind of like if a shop had a window on the front, and he's like sitting in that little room, and he's watching you approach, and he sees you coming by. He like kind of eyeballs you and doesn't think much about it, and then just goes back to like looking at something else, maybe like that you can't see behind the counter.
Okay. What are the Pokemon that are around?
Roll a
Yeah, what's...
roll a d20. Hannah, since you asked.
Okay.
7.
7.
All right. So, you can't get a good look at any of the Pokemon that are around because they're mostly like keeping low in the grass and scuffling about. But you do think that if there are any Pokemon around here, which you're pretty sure there are, they must be fairly small, probably nothing too big or powerful. You just get the ambient sound and noises of like small chirpy sounds and small like insectoid clicks and buzzes, nothing too fancy.
Triggering
Yeah.
Willie's ASMR.
Is this gonna be the kind of D&D session where now that she's had her perception roll, I can try?
No.
Is that cheating?
Yes,
That's
that would be
definitely
cheating.
Okay, that's
she
fair.
basically made the roll for the group. That's the general feeling of what you get of the area.
Cool. Okay.
But it should
Well-
be said that this toll area is sort of like right in the center of the road. It's not blocking off the entire road, but if you do get too close to the building, the gentleman will try to stop you. So if you are going to approach that building, let me know.
Well, I think that since we got like half an hour here, I'm gonna see if maybe I can get into our first wild Pokemon battle with Litwick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's what you're going to try to do, huh?
if that's all right.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Oh,
All right, go ahead. Do me a favor and you know what, what dice do you have with you?
I have all. I have many.
Yeah, we have
What
a
have you done?
we have a full set of 7.
We do.
Okay, cool. In that case, roll a d6 for me.
All right, let's find out how this is gonna work, team. All right, D6. I got a 5.
All right, good. Let me go ahead and roll through the list here. Make sure I get the right
Seth
one.
spends 2 minutes spinning in place, because it felt like it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna say that there are some Pokemon milling around in like a patch of bushes nearby, and you know that there are Pokemon in there. You just have to approach to maybe get one. So how are you going to go about that? Are you gonna tell the others what you're gonna do, or are you just like gonna throw Litwick into the bush and hope something comes out?
Throw Litwick out of bush.
Well, I mean, I was probably gonna like walk towards the bush and see what came at me, and we'd kind of go from there.
Okay, so you're not gonna tell
yeah.
anyone else what you're doing, or
I mean, we're just kind of like walking down the route, right? I
Yeah.
think maybe this could just be something that happens in passing.
okay, so you're just gonna like break away from the group and just start investigating some bushes?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm just watching you, kind of seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So as you walk over to the bush and you start to look around, you see what looks like a sort of yellowish, brownish lump in the grass that doesn't seem like it matches the same color as anything else. And it seems like it was moving, you swear it was. And then as you look at it, as you focus on it, it suddenly freezes in place, and only the slightest wiggle or slightest like side to side motion happens every couple of seconds.
Okay. Who's that Pokemon? You said it was orange and brown?
It's like a brownishy, yellowishy color.
It could be a Sandshrew.
Could be. Is it a Sandshrew? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Sunkern?
If
chat thinks
only
it's a
you
Sunkern.
had something that could identify what Pokemon are.
Oh, right. But ding! And then I pull out my phone and pointed the little sensor at it.
All right.
Oh right, we have an app. I forgot.
Yeah.
There's an app for that.
Yeah. Enough of
So, as you point your phone at the object and you bring up your little Pokedex app, it says, looking for Pokemon.
that.
Pokemon located. Shroomish, the mushroom Pokemon.
Oh.
This
Oh.
Pokemon is small, round, and spreads spores whenever it walks. When spotted by trainers, it tends to act as if a normal mushroom.
Okay. All right, so he gets that and he pockets it and he said, well, Litwick, you want to try this out? And Litwick's like all for it, and he jumps out of the arms. He's got Go Face on.
He's got his go face on.
Yeah, it's not an extreme Go face. It's just like a little frown. Is all he got.
All right, so as you throw Litwick at the general area of this shroomish, give me 1 second. Should have had this ready, but I didn't. Oh well.
Gonna fight this grotto mushroom.
All right, hopefully this won't be too loud. I apologize in advance if it is. All right.
Oh yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Do.
The shroomish doesn't move. It's just a normal mushroom.
What?
What? What?
You're kidding.
But I pointed my Pokedex at it.
You did.
I did.
But the shroomish
it's
doesn't
just
move. It's just a normal mushroom.
Litwick steps up to the plate and he pokes that mushroom a little bit just to like wake it up because he wants a fair fight. He doesn't want to just do it.
All right, so as you nudge the strange-looking thing, it pops open eyes, and these two little beady eyes look back up at the Litwick, and a frown grows over the front of its face.
Oh.
And it pops out of the ground. Tiny little green nubby feet kicking in the air as it like shoots out of the ground and then lands back down on those tiny little nubs. And then it wiggles its body as if it's finally ready to take on the intruder, noticing that the gig is up.
Oh shit, Pokemon, fight! Okay.
This mushroom is really disgruntled.
Alright, well, the clear answer here, actually, I'm really the best option for this fight. Yeah, let's try out Ember on this guy.
All right, so go ahead and roll your d20.
D20, come here, you. Okay, it's a 7.
All right, and go ahead and roll a d4.
D4, it's this one. That's a 4.
Ooh, good. All right, so the Ember attack does hit, and it does 4 damage. I don't have a convenient way of displaying the in the battle information on screen just yet, but I will come up with a way in the near future. But
Okay.
Cool.
so
You want chat suggestions, or would that be annoying?
what?
Do you want the chat to give you suggestions, or would that be annoying?
Not right now, but if they want
Okay.
to like DM me messages in Discord, they're more than welcome to. But okay, so you went ahead and you did 4 damage to him. All right, so the Shroomish is going to reel back from the flames, and actually, you know what? I didn't check. Arc,
Yes.
roll a d10.
Okay. Fuck, which one's that? That's not that one. I guess it's this one, right?
Mhm.
Unless it's also this one, the same one, which has the same number of sides.
Are you sure it's not this one that
They're
you just
both
said it's not?
d10s.
Oh no, that's not it.
They're both D10s. How do I know which D10 to D10?
Either's fine.
Okay, fine. It's a 7.
You rolled a 7. Okay.
Yes.
So the Shroomish reels back and like shakes its head, fluttering off with the little frills on the end of its mushroom, the little sparks of fire that are still around, and like looking angrily at you, it launches as soon as I bring the page back up, there we go. It launches an absorb attack at you. Its little mushroomy, like powerful eyes stare at you, trying to draw your essence from the Litwick. And he rolls. All right, and he manages to hit you. Fortunately, this is going to do 1 damage because the most it can do is 2, and you have resistance to grass. So it does 1 damage, and he gets 1 HP back.
Okay. Then Litwick takes another step forward and he gives it another shot. He tries to bring it up a notch, do better on the second go.
Doing another Ember?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Okay. Fuck. It's this one. 12.
All right, so you hit, and go ahead
And
and
then-
roll the D4.
Oh, D4. Right. 3.
3. All right, you do 3 damage, and roll the D10.
Is this one? 20.
2.
Oh, okay, so it's a 2.
2, yes,
I
sorry,
was very confused for
yeah.
a second, but I understand. Okay, so you did the 3 damage. It, again, kind of like steps back. The little frill's on fire now, getting a little worse. It looks a little panicked, and it glares back at you. And I'm gonna let you know at this point, it is at about 50% HP.
Oh.
So the Litwick, or the Shroomish is gonna take its turn. It's going to roll its attack. It hits. It's going to not have to roll its damage because the most it can do is 1. And it gets 1 HP back. It's still at about 50%. And it's your turn.
I'm gonna try pulling out Smog this time, and Litwick opens its mouth, and there's this like big cloud that pours out.
All right.
It's a little spooky, actually.
It's actually a little terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay, that one's a 3.
A 3?
Yeah.
All right, that actually misses.
Fuck.
All right, so the smog starts ushering towards the Shroomish, and it just, like, cries out, and the bellow of air from its shriek just causes the smog to dissipate.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so
Okay.
realizing that it's not draining a whole lot of health from you, and that this is kind of a difficult fight, the Shroomish runs up to you, and it tries to throw its entire body at the Litwick, but since tackle is a normal move, it falls straight through Litwick and just lands on the other side. It jumps back up and looks around confused.
Oh, Shroomish is cute.
Litwick takes this opportunity while it's confused to slip underground again and try to do the same trick it did to that last guy. Try to get him from underneath.
All right, go ahead.
Is it
What?
is
Sorry?
it capable of digging underground?
It's not digging. It's phasing through.
Oh, okay, got
It's
it.
a ghost.
Got
Yeah.
it, got it.
I should say again, I am willing to take, like, if you want to make things fancy or you want to add flares to things or whatever, feel free to do it. If you do anything that I think breaks the game or is untoward or won't work, I'll let you know. But something like that, yeah, I'm basically going to treat that like an Ember attack. But since you added a little flair to it, I might fudge the numbers in your favor. So if you want to go ahead and roll a d20 to see if it hits.
So we can
Nice.
aim for the horn in this game?
Basically.
I went for a 12.
All right, you managed to land a hit, so roll your d4.
D4 goop 3.
All right, you do 3 damage, roll your d10.
That's this one. You know, I'm not sure what that one means.
Is it double
looks
zero?
Looks like that's a 10.
All
I
right,
think so.
Okay, so
So
you
one.
rolled a
No.
No, 10. Oh,
No,
okay.
I got a double 0, which I guess is perfect.
you rolled the double 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means 10, which
Nice.
is good in certain ways. So you do 3 damage to the guy. Let me put that here.
I'm just gonna use the other D10 for now.
Yeah, don't use
And-
that weird one.
The problem now is that it's burned.
Uh-oh.
That's the problem.
It might faint.
Yeah, because now its HP is at like 25% and it's burned. It's
We
going
can
to
catch this?
take its turn. It takes its burn damage. It's at about 20% HP now. It tries to use Absorb, turning back at you and attacking.
I probably wasn't gonna catch it. I was just
And
going.
Oh.
I was just
okay.
having a fight.
You're not gonna catch this Shroomish?
No, probably not.
That's cute.
I'm a ghost guy.
Okay, fair enough.
all right, so it hits
Unless
with the Absorb.
unless Lily wants this.
No, I've got a
Okay.
Pokemon already.
1 damage
you-
to you. It heals 1 of its HP, and it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, he pops up out of the ground and tries to get him with another smog while he's, disoriented and such. That's
Alright.
another 3. Fuck.
All right, yeah, that misses again. Sorry.
That's alright.
But let me just double check the numbers here.
Low success rate on smog. Ember doing alright.
All right. So it takes its burn damage. It tries to heal from burn. It does.
Smog has low accuracy, I just decided.
So it manages to heal from its burn. The flames that were like coursing over its body disappear, and it tries to actually jump onto Lotad and start literally like nibbling
What?
on it to try and get the absorb to work better.
Oh,
And
I
it
wish you would catch
manages
this Shroomish.
to hit, and it heals 1 HP. And again, since you guys can't really see the numbers or anything too well, the Shroomish is at about 10% HP now. So he's kind of like hurting and like weakly nibbling on your Litwick, trying to siphon energy out of it.
Okay. All right, Litwick, finish it off, and then go for one more smog. Okay, D20. Here we go. 14.
All right. So you... Where'd it go? There we go. All right. So you do that and roll a d4.
Okay. 4.
4. Okay.
Wow, good rolls with the D4 today.
And you manage to cover the Shroomish in smog as it's nibbling on your Litwick, and as it gets all like coated in the smog and starts breathing it in, it takes its last breath for being awake and sort of teeters backwards, spins around, and just kind of collapses over on the ground. Yay!
And Litwick's like looking at him like, oh, tasty, but
Oh my god!
but Seth says, no, not that one.
No, not that one.
Not that one. And then he borrows a donut from Rowan's bag.
Go for it.
And-
I get the donut. Deserves it.
Good fight, Shroomish. He like tries to wake him up a little bit and offer the donut.
Oh,
You knocked him out.
cute.
He's like
Oh,
out
well.
cold.
I'll leave half for him here. Here you go, Litwick.
Yeah. So. So, a general idea on how combat works. You can choose to fight wild Pokemon, obviously, like you just did. If you knock a Pokemon out, whatever Pokemon was in the battle will get credit for that fight. So, for example, now Litwick has noted down that it has won one wild battle. Depending on my choice of how many battles is required to reach the next level, your Pokemon will level up. So more or less, you're just going to go by whenever I say, hey, your Pokemon leveled up and learned a new move or something.
Dope.
So, yeah, I'm trying to minimize the amount of information that has to be retained by everybody, because obviously this isn't a computer game that I can, like, just have a simulation running for all the time.
Right.
But anyway, yes, I will, until we have a better way of displaying the numbers, give you general ideas of what the percentage of the Pokemon are at. Your Litwick, by the way, has taken about 25% damage. So he's at 75%. So he's still looking pretty fine.
Donut's good for healing.
No.
Fuck.
Any sense of the word, no.
Oh well.
They heal the
That's
spirit,
okay.
but not the body.
That's okay. I just wanted to get that fight in before we got to the first town.
That's perfectly fine, yeah. And if we're ever in an area and you want to check out to see if there's any wild Pokemon there, depending on how much time we have, it might be limited to, like, I'm not going to have, like, a revolving, okay, so now it's your turn, so now it's your turn, so now it's your turn. And there will be opportunities for you to be in, like, 4v4s, 3v3s, 2v2s with wild Pokemon and stuff, so there is opportunities for all kinds of Pokemon battles and captures and what have you. But Ark did not choose to capture that mushroom, so now he is kind of just unconscious, and like maybe his family of other mushrooms kind of roll him back into the bushes.
They don't hold me in any discontent or anything. This is the way that the world is.
What kind of thing happens
They nod in respect, just like.
The circle
We'll play.
of love. And yeah, so as you finish that, you are back on the path that ultimately ends on this toll booth.
Right.
Great first battle.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Seth comes back with Litwick. He's like, yeah, that was fun.
And the Litwick. Oh no, I decided that you guys are going to interact with the Pokemon your way.
And the Litwick is so happy with himself. He's like, wipe his brow. He's like, that was a little exerting, but I'm okay. I'm alright.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Lotad wipes his brow too.
Oh.
Hello, Dad. You did such a good job.
Lotad.
Wait, I'm sorry,
I
did
just
catch
imagine the Lotad giving, like, or trying to give finger guns.
Just kind of points both of his hands at you.
Lortad.
But you mean the four hands?
Well, all right, yeah. Yes,
all of them.
correct.
He just leans back and falls on his like little shelf, and he points at you.
Yeah,
with all
he's
four
fallen
legs.
over already, so he just wiggled them all out.
Your brain won't even register this as finger guns. You just think that Lotad's fallen on its back and can't get up.
Well, it's
But
the way
all
that
of
he
this was
says
intentional.
Lotad.
Lotad. Lotad.
I love Lotad.
Lotad has so much personality.
All right. So I guess we have this guy sitting here.
Yeah, there's
So
a guy
really-
at a toll booth. He's sitting there, kind of just minding his booth, doing his job.
Well,
I think we should go ahead and meander right on up to that man.
yeah. How about you guys take over? I'm just
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so who's going to approach?
I guess
Who's going to approach? Room goes silent.
I guess I will.
All right. So as you approach the gentleman, he looks like a security officer. He's just got like a hat, whatever. You know what security guards look like. He's got chubbier jowls. He sits in his office in his little box all day and just kind of sits there and eats potato chips. He looks out at you and kind of blinks a bit and says, "Howdy, ma'am. How can we help you today?"
Nothing much. Just passing through. We're on our way to Terenia Town.
Yes. Turning Town is right past here. You're gonna take a left as soon as you get out of the toll section, and you'll find your way right down there at the end of Route 2. And of course, if you want to come through, that'll be 10 Poké Dollars per person.
Oh,
Do we have that?
do we have that?
I
Lily
know.
don't have that.
Did you guys have any money before you left?
I definitely did not.
Lily
Split wood for
broke.
people.
Lily broke.
So, looking at the lot of you, he says, "Sorry, if you don't have any money, I can't let you through. That's just my job. I'm sorry. I don't want to get fired."
That's not your fault, dude. But like, we have these cards that we got because we're doing this Pokemon League thing. Does that maybe mean we get through for free?
Are you gonna show him the card?
Yeah.
Okay, so you hand the card over to him, and he looks over it. He actually runs it through a keycard reader on his computer behind his desk, and all of your information, or at least all of your pertinent information for the Cetro Pokemon League pops up. And he says, all right, so you guys are the new group going through the Cetro Pokemon League. And it says here that you have 0 credits in your account.
Oh,
so,
good.
I'm
So
sorry,
we
but
can't
I'm not
get
gonna
through.
let you through.
Okay. How do we get credits? Do we have to battle, or do we to go get day jobs?
Look, I'm not here to tell you how to make your money, okay? This is how I make mine. And
I have quite a question.
yes,
How do you get your job?
my uncle is the head officer here.
Typical.
Nepotism.
Wow.
And then you'll like suddenly hear something that kind of sounds like a and the guy he groans and rolls his eyes. He's like, "Excuse me for 1 second." And sitting, pushing his heft out of the chair, he stands up and he kind of bulkily waddles over to the door on the side, and he opens it up and he says, "Shoo! Shoo!" And he's starts swinging something out of the door, and you hear the faint sound of something like as they bluster away, and he shuts the door. And he comes back and he sits down and he kind of rolls his eyes and grunts. And then as soon as he's about to open his mouth to say, "Now listen, I'm sorry, I can't let you..." He gets back up, walks over to the door, "Shoo! Shoo!" And again. And then he shuts the door and he waddles back over and sits back down. He pushes his thin hair back out of his face, wipes some sweat from his face, and he says, "Oh, God, I don't know what's more annoying, them or trying to tell people that if they don't have money, they can't..." I'm sorry, what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have any money, I can't let you through.
What was that? What were those? What was happening?
It's just, God, there's an infestation. Some stupid birds have been nesting in the rafters of the toll booth, and we've been trying to get them out of there. They just won't leave.
Do you think maybe if we got rid of the birds, we could get through?
He looks at you.
Would that be worth 40 Poké Dollars?
Did you see me beat up that Shroomish?
He looks at you. He looks over his shoulder. He looks up. He like leans forward. And he gives you like a 1 second, like he holds his finger up. He leans up and he like says, "Now I told you if you don't have any money, I can't let you through. Now if you'll excuse me." And he stands up, and you can tell it's intentionally too aggressively. And he bumps something, and it falls over, and you hear like a clattering noise. And he says, "Oh, now look what you gone and made me do." And then he looks over at you, and he says, "That was the camera. I'm gonna overlook this. I'm gonna pretend like I'm fixing the camera. If you can get rid of that infestation, we'll call it a deal, okay?"
Got it.
This guy is super shady.
And I'm down with that. I feel this man. We have an understanding.
And he says, "Okay, you lot of degenerates, get out. Go back to Anthertown. I knew you weren't gonna make it.
I can't. These assholes won't let it. I'm very
What will
angry.
we do from here?
Ah.
Oh no!
Don't worry about me. Bye.
And he's like, gotta fix this camera before Uncle Timothy finds out what happened."
Not Uncle Timothy.
lot
Uncle
less-
Timothy's such an asshole.
A lot less shadily than that,
The
though.
classism in the Pokemon League these days.
Okay, so
but-
I guess
So what you can see is that on the right side of the toll booth, there looks like there's the side entrance for like the employees where they go in, and just a bunch of trees and, you know, maybe some like ladders or whatever stacked back there. And then there's a gate blocking off anything else. And you can tell that you would have to go through the booth in order to get beyond, but you do have access to the right side of the building.
okay.
Yeah, let's do that one
Yeah.
All
Entrance number 2. Let's go.
with the place with the ladders.
Yeah.
All right, so you go over to the right side of the building, and it looks like you're just standing on maybe the right side of like a shed or something from over here, just with the one door that leads inside. That's probably how the security guard gets in there. And the one thing that looks weird is that there's a circular window at the top where the top floor would be, but it's almost completely encrusted with twigs and like feathers and various things all nestled together and cramped up in there.
And so at this point, Seth kind of pokes his new very quiet friend, Kieran. Kieran, he's like, "Hey, I think you might be up."
Yeah, that's a good idea because you got electric type.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Let's see. So, how high can it levitate? I don't know how this works.
Well, I mean, it can't levitate that high. I'm gonna say it can't
Right.
levitate much higher than like shoulder length.
Okay.
And the window's on the second floor, so it's like a good like 10 feet above you.
Mm.
Okay. I think
You have an
throwing
electric
it
type.
would be too hard. That was I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
You don't want to use an electric type move?
Well, yeah, but like, can it reach it? I'm not sure.
Well, you can try.
All right, I'll try using Spark. Yeah,
Okay. So you're gonna use Spark on the window?
whole thing. Yes.
Okay. So, go ahead and, like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, your Pokemon's not out of its Pokeball yet, so...
Oh. Oh, that's an idea. I throw the Pokeball into the window.
You just throw
Oh
your
my God.
Pokeball at the window?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, no, the ball,
Tyrion.
and then it releases safely out of the ball, right?
Okay. Okay. Well, what I'm going to say happens is you throw your Pokeball and it looks like you're just chucking it straight at the window. But as it gets like halfway there, the Pokeball opens up and Tynamo shoots out of it like a fucking torpedo and slaps against the window.
Oh my god.
Frightening all of the Pidgeys immediately away.
And it falls back. It like starts falling back to the ground, but manages to like catch itself before it hits the ground and like wiggles and waddles back up so that it's like wiggling around properly.
Uh-huh.
And then as the result is the flap of the Tynamo's body against the window causes all of the bird's nest to crackle up. And TeamViewer crashed. Hold on.
Oops. It really crashed, just ended.
Oh, Jesus. Let me get a new presentation up. Come on. No, that's not what I
Okay.
want.
Oh. No. Mm.
Shoot. It's asking me,
At the same time, while this is going on, Seth's like, you know,
There we go.
I bet it'd be pretty easy to catch dragons if you could fly.
Jay, are you
Yeah.
still there?
Oh, yes.
I think he was talking to you.
Oh, to me? What?
Well, no, I was just kind of addressing the room, you know.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Hey, out of character. I'm not pressed for time or anything, but how long do we have?
This
still?
is
I mean,
gonna be like the last thing that we do, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
As long as we don't go past 20.
No, we shouldn't. Hopefully.
Oh, okay.
So as the bird's nest like shatters apart, you see two dark little like figures scatter out. One of them just completely disappears, and the other spins around almost as if it was originally going to follow the other figure, but then comes flying back and then landing right in, like, I guess in the middle of your group of people is a very angry looking Pidove.
Oh.
How angry can one of those look?
And
I
it
thought
kind of
it was
just looks
Pidove.
at you, scowling and flapping its wings about all haphazardly. And, Pidove!
All right. Well, I will have. Well, I guess I'll try to use Spark. Yeah.
All right, so let me. Whoop. And. Whoop. I said whoop. There we go.
Woo.
All right, so you're going to go ahead and try to use Spark. Roll a d20.
Yes. Okay.
It's time.
Let's see here. 15.
All right, great. Roll a d6.
Nice.
I do not have one of those.
I'll roll it for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you got a 6, buddy.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Now roll another d6.
Okay.
Okay, all right, doing it for him. Oh, that one's a 3.
No.
It was a 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say no to that one. And all right, so you immediately shock this Pidove, and it already goes down to half HP, so it's at 50%.
Oh, yes.
And taking that electrical shock, it suddenly gets a lot angrier. It, like,
Oh,
stops for a
God.
moment, tries to consider what happened, the little crackles of electricity, like, dancing around its body. It pauses to think about what just happened, and then, like, if possible, if you could, its eyes just turn, like, blood red. And it is just
It's a Pidove!
absolutely pissed. So the Pidove just starts...
It's a piss dove.
Yeah! It just starts trekking straight at the Tynamo, and it... Oh, dear. It lands a critical hit! On admittedly what is only a tackle. So you only take 4 damage, which is only about Yeah, 20% of your HP. So you're still good.
Okay.
And it's your turn. The pie dove is at about half its HP.
Okay. Well, it has to be close by, right?
What do you mean?
Does it just tackle? Does it kind of like it's
Oh,
still
yeah.
within range?
I mean, it ran up to you and it, like, smacked, like, directly into you. And I guess the Dynamo could have, like, tumbled back a little bit.
Oh shoot, yeah, you're right. Okay, no, that's fine. I guess I'll just go right for a spark again since it was already at half.
All right. So, this is the part of the story where I'm not going to try to control you guys or anything, but you do have opportunities to catch these Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Jay, you should catch this.
you didn't catch the Shroomish. What am I gonna do with an angry? You know what? An angry
bird
kind
type.
of does sound kind of amazing. All right, what do I have? What's the other move? Let's see here. Oh, it was. Tackle.
Are we allowed
Okay,
to
I'll try
interject, or
tackle
is this a carry-in only situation?
No. As long as you're still in the area watching this happen, you can talk to him.
Give them the balls.
The balls, the balls,
The balls. The balls. The.
Were you
Well,
gonna say
I was trying to
something,
tell you a tackle before the balls.
or- So you're going to use tackle?
Yeah.
All right, roll a d20.
Okay.
What's stopping us from trying to catch them after the round?
3.
All right, roll a d4.
Ark, do you have one of those?
Oh,
You have all the dice,
Oh
right?
yeah, D4. You got a 4.
all right.
Dang.
So you tackle the pie dove, and it is now at about 20% HP. So its HP is red and bleeping at you. The pie dove.
Yes.
Metaphorically, of course.
Yes. The pie dove, which now looks like it is still angry, but it's breathing heavily and kind of like trying to keep its balance, looks from the Tynamo over to you. Like it's got a mind to actually start attacking you.
Oh no.
And it just starts screeching. Like this loud, just like sound.
Oh, I love that.
No!
Cool, it hits.
You scream back at it.
Well, that was actually, by actual definition, a growl attack, and it did hit. So Tynamo's attack stat has gone down by 1 stage.
Okay. But it's my turn again, right?
Yes, now it's your turn.
Good. Okay. Somebody pass me a ball.
You have your own.
I have my own. I will have my own ball.
You have a
And now I will throw
collective,
it.
like, sack that you can keep your shit in. But if you want to, like,
Oh.
have separate, like, pockets for yourselves, that's fine. But, yes, as far
Or we could
as
just make
your
Lily
items are
carry
concerned...
everything in her
Yeah,
bag.
Lily really reaches to grab a Pokeball and just sticks her hands in a bunch of donuts that she wasn't quite aware were in there.
So we're going to use a Pokeball?
Yeah,
Yes.
donut slathered Pokeball is now
Nice.
handed to Carrion.
It's,
Okay.
it's like got like jelly filling all over it.
I'm gonna leave the jelly thing on it as
And-
bait, and I'm gonna
And
throw it.
she
Nice.
secretly wipes off her hand on his cape.
I feel nothing.
As he turns around, now, time to catch this Pokemon! And Lily's just behind him like, yeah, and just wiping
Yeah,
her
get him.
hands on his cape.
You got it, dude.
Okay. Yes. So I throw the ball.
All right, so roll a d10.
Oh,
You know, okay,
Bitch!
just,
Hang on.
Jay, just roll a d20.
Okay. Divided by 2.
Yeah.
2.
You rolled a 2?
I rolled a 4.
Oh, you rolled a 4. Okay. So the Pokeball wiggles once, and then the Pida busts out and looks even angrier than before. You're pissing this thing off, Jay.
Hannah, get the fuck off Tumblr. We're doing a stream.
What?
I went on Tumblr and it said you reblogged something.
Oh
That
no,
must
I'm
have
not
been
on.
cute.
I have everything queued.
Oh, okay.
Wow, Ryu, way to call everybody out tonight.
I only called myself out there because I'm
Yeah.
on Tumblr.
God.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Pidove is going to break out of the Pokeball as it recoalesces. It charges at the Tynamo again, and... Ooh, it gets a critical hit. So,
Yipes.
your Tynamo is going to take 4 points of damage. Where's the... There it is. Alright, your Tynamo is now at about... I'm going to say about 40-ish%. But it's your turn. And again, I will remind you, if you do want to still catch the pie dove, the only reason that failed is because you rolled abysmally.
That's right. Good. All right. Do I have access to another jelly ball?
You do have access to another jelly ball if you want to use it.
All right. Specifically, the one covered in jelly.
Okay, go right ahead.
That's all
All
of
right,
them.
good. Okay. I'm going to hope to roll a little higher this time. All right, I'm going to throw. 12.
All right, so you throw the ball. It lands on the pie dove. It gets in the ball. It lands. It shakes it once.
Mm-hmm.
It shakes it twice.
Yeah.
It shakes it 3 times.
Uh-huh.
Ka-tink! You got it!
Hooray.
You
The
got it.
angriest dove. I love it.
You have a very angry bird.
Yeah,
I'm
now
the
it's like
angriest bird.
Angry bird. I'm so mad.
the Pokeball actually kind of like slightly shakes and jostles as you pick it back up.
I'm gonna pick it up off the ground. We're gonna give him some time. We're gonna give him some time to cool
that's
off.
a good
first.
idea.
You're gonna put him in there. Just gotta tuck him in my belt. All right, there we go.
All
What
right.
about the rest of the doves? Did
Yeah.
that scare them away?
Yeah,
Maybe,
let's
or-
have a look at the situation. Have we cleared the infestation?
Yeah, as you wait around for a few seconds and you look around and you're like wondering if any others are going to come back, the only evidence that anything happened here is that there is still some bramble from the nest on the ground, but, you know, that probably won't attract any attention. Beyond that, no other birds seem to be showing up or coming by.
All right, cool. I knock on, is there a window?
I mean, the door's right there, or you could go back around front if you want.
Oh, I guess we just go back in the door.
And meanwhile, while this is happening, Seth goes up behind Carrie and he's like, I knew you were gonna be good at this. I could tell. I could just tell.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta use multiple balls to get it done.
Wow.
Oh,
Not, well,
okay.
throws.
He doesn't catch it. He
Rowan
doesn't-
is
That's fine. All
laughing.
right, good.
All right. So, as you did you say you're gonna knock on the door or the window?
I would
What do we-
separate the P-Dub sprite.
Jesus
just
Christ,
a little
dude.
bit. I mean, you gotta really snug up there, is all.
Yeah, they were
Snuggly.
supposed to be cuddling, but fine.
Mhm.
Cuddling friends.
Anyway,
I can draw angry eyebrows on the pinto.
For
We'll
next
get around
time,
to that.
For next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, wait, so we don't have access to the rest of the road, right? We can't just, walk past the building?
You have to go. You actually have to go in and through the booth in order to go
Okay.
through.
All right, we go back in then.
All right, so you're gonna go back to the main window.
Yeah.
All right, so you come back around to the main window, and you see the guard still there, like, oh, stupid technology in this day and age. You can't just hook this stuff back up. You can't.
He's still
Get it.
doing that?
And he's like,
He
he's
has
looking.
been fucking around.
He's looking up at you expectantly, waiting for you to give him some sort of
I give him a thumbs up.
Okay.
A
Hold
nod
up
of
the ball.
solidarity.
And he waits for a few seconds, doesn't hear anything, and he just gives you a nod, and he's like, oh, guess I'm just gonna have to look in the closet for something around here to put this back up. And you hear the click, telltale sound of a door unlocking.
Nice. Wait. Can we
Yeah.
go in the closet?
Yeah.
Can we check
I
the closet?
He unlocked the front door.
Oh, okay. I guess we go out that way then.
Yeah.
If
I
you
wanted
couldn't
to
tell,
check
all
the
of this is just a
closet.
gimmick so that his uncle doesn't catch him letting people through for free.
Fair enough.
And he just kind of nods and says, "Oh, I found it. I hope no more pesky brats manage to waste my time and make me ruin this technology." And he just clicks the camera
What?
back into its place and sits back down, and he's ushering you out the other side door that leads down to Route 2.
I like this man. This man and I have an understanding. And we go ahead and head out so that he doesn't get caught.
Cool.
All right, so as the door closes behind you and you turn back to face down the next road, you see that there's a whole wide road of adventure ahead of you, and in fact, you think you might just smell the slight tang of water, of aquatic life. There we go. That's what I was looking for in the distance. And far away on the horizon, you can actually see a small collection of buildings peeking upward as you start to ease into the late afternoon.
Ah.
Does anyone have any tape? It's still quivering.
And that's going to be the end of episode 1.
Yay!
That was fun. Cool.
That was so good. I love Nidoran so much.
Litwick best.
Low tech
You don't know what to do with this bird.
You don't know what to do with the bird. You can ride it. Ride it.
Release it, and it's going to actually kill me.
Evolve your new P-Dove until it's 3 feet tall, apparently, and then you'll ride it off to victory.
Yes.
Yes. So
Hey, All Shane, I had so much fun, but it's gonna probably be like 2 months before another episode, right? Right? I mean, right? Right.
I mean, that's up to you guys.
No, I want more.
Is it up to us, or is it up
More
to
soon.
the schedule?
Wait, I have an idea. Fall Shane.
Oh yeah.
What if for 2019, every Friday we alternate between Zelda D&D and Pokemon D&D?
Well, gee, that seems like a really good idea that we didn't already have.
Hannah, I don't think he was talking to you.
Crazy.
I think that's a dumb idea, Ryu, and I think you need to stay in your own fucking lane.
Okay.
But I guess if that's the only way...
That's right, everybody. Every single Friday from now to the end of time, we are going to be D&D'ing right at your face.
No.
It's the end of time.
Right. When I die, I will pass on to my next of kin the role of Lilith Smelzer.
You just hand your character sheet to your progeny.
I just ordered a full set of dice.
Good
I
job,
also
Jay.
ordered dice today. I ordered a set of 6 step.
I will have
a set
some
of,
next
6
time.
bunches of die. I'm so excited.
This was very fun, Flush.
I'm gonna have pink dye, and I'm really excited about it.
Yay!
Also, hey, if you didn't get enough Pokemon fill today, you should come back tomorrow, same time.
Yeah,
For
there's
more
gonna
Pokemon.
Because we're gonna do a different Pokemon.
More
Yay!
And then the day after that, if you still haven't had enough Pokemon, we're doing a different third Pokemon stream.
Do we have enough Pokemon series going right now?
Oh,
The answer is
right,
yeah.
we're doing freaking Pokemon Fusion, right?
Yay!
Tomorrow we're doing a Let's Play of Pokemon Let's Go, and on Thursday it's going to be Pokemon Infinite Fusion Nuzlocke, which is really fun. We fuse Pokemon together in this fan-made
The sprites
mod.
actually fuse.
I'm glad that
It's very
we're
fun.
now officially Poke streamers. I'm glad that we've embraced our true
Yeah.
Yes,
purpose.
We do nothing
2019.
but Pokemon now.
I refuse to
Pokemon
get competitive,
approaching.
Shane. You won't get me to do it.
It's fine. It's fine.
You can see our full release schedule on www.challengeapproachingtv.com.
Hell yeah!
But unless there's anything else that anybody else wants to say, thank you all very much for stopping by. Again, I've pretty much got enough content ready to keep going every week for a while, so I'm going to leave it up to Ryu and pretty much the challenger approaching body at large to determine if you want to squeeze in like a spare episode. If for some reason we can't like do something a day and you're like, hey, we're all here, let's do a Pokemon D&D episode, I will be able to. So just let me know.
We'll
And
talk it out.
Good to know.
yeah, and again, if anybody in the chat or if anybody on the team wants to give me any suggestions for display stuff or showing like HP and stuff on the stream,
Or
more
fan
than-
art. Draw all the fan art.
Yes.
Okay, that too. I was asking for ways to make the stream better, but if you also want to like
No, I just
stroke our
want people
egos,
to
draw
draw
pictures
I
of
just
our
want people
characters.
to draw Rowan.
Tell me
I
how
want
pictures
more
of Rowan.
drawings of Rowan.
Tell me how drawings of Rowan would make the stream better, Fall Shane.
They would make it amazing.
I must flee.
Okay,
All right, bye,
let's-
Ark.
We
Bye,
gotta
you
go. It was
fool.
Pokemon Soup!
Bye.
Bye.